Morning, everyone. Oh, yeah, we got Josh in here right away. That thumbnail, yeah, thanks, dude. I got a list of old thumbnails. I use this app called InShot, and it's how I create all my thumbnails and all my videos and everything I do on Instagram and YouTube. So yeah, I like my thumbnails. But anyway, good morning, everyone. I'm glad everyone's here, and Josh, good to see you this morning. We're going to talk about the old Pam Bondi being out. Do you guys remember when I said about Pam Bondi being out here probably by May, right? The Epstein files were going to be the thing that was going to get her out. I also said that Howard Lutnick would be gone by the end of March, so that didn't happen. But I think he's probably next, right? We got the curse of the Epstein files. You guys notice, like, every time anyone touches these Epstein files, they ultimately get drugged down, right? They're like the freaking, what are the things in Harry Potter, the demon things that fly around? They're like I forget what they're called, but it's like they just go to get you. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit today. I got some headlines for you guys. I got all kinds of fun stuff to tell you. Got my CNC up and running yesterday, so that's good to go. So now I need to start programming the CNC router. We'll get that thing up and going, and I'll show you guys what that's all about. First thing I'm gonna do is probably make a resplendent crow sign, and then I'll do some basic credenza cabinets. Look at those cutouts. I'll show you guys how I do all that stuff. It'll be kind of fun. Other things we got going on. Got a lot of walnut furniture building right now, so I'll show you guys some walnut furniture I got coming up, that I'm building right now. I'm doing some veneer work, so if you guys want to know how to do real beautiful veneer work, right? Not the bullshit work that you guys see where people just slap veneer on the front, none of the grains match. Whenever I build furniture, the grains always match every single time. Vertically, horizontally, they all always match. That's one of the signs of being very good at doing veneer work, is that you take the time to make sure that everything lines up perfectly. And so I'll show you guys that stuff. Other things I want to go through, guys. Seems like a part of my staple on my channel is letting you guys know the analytics, right? What are we doing on the back end of Google? I think people like to kind of know that stuff, like how's the channel performing? How much money have we made? What's the growth? What are the metrics? People say like that stuff. So I'm going to try and tell you guys every day in the first part of my stream what our metrics are as they refresh, right? Metrics refresh on the money end about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and they refresh on the analytics side about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I forget exactly when. But anyway, here's the metrics, guys. Here's what the channel's doing right now. So it says your hard work is paying off, right? So we're up 474% over the last month. So it retabulates every 28 days. We can change the metrics for what we want, but I always look at 28 days. So anyway, we're at 474% growth as a channel. So again, that's all you guys. I appreciate it. Views, we're running about 180,000 views a month. We're doing almost 3,000 hours of watch time a month. We're gaining over 350 subscribers a month, and the channel has made $119 in the last month, right? That's all metrics. That's things like super chats, that's the ads and stuff like that. And again, I tell you guys all the time, this is not a palatable channel. We're not trying to make money off ads. We're not trying to make money off that kind of stuff. We make money on this channel on super chats, super gifts, and memberships and stuff like that. But again, that's not how I make money, So anyway, anyone that participates in the chat and helps us out with this channel, again, I always appreciate it. I'm literally watching the guy that inspired me to do YouTube, and he's literally saying things like, he can't say the word marijuana because it's not good for the algorithm. It's like, if you're that cucked by the need to make money on YouTube, it's like, what can you really say? So I don't know what you can say if you gotta, if you're trying to make tons of money on YouTube. I don't know what you can do. Like, you gotta be able to talk, right? You gotta be able to act real and say real things on YouTube. Otherwise, what's the point? And anyway, so I just thought I'd let you guys know that kind of stuff. And again, I know it doesn't draw people in when I try and talk about that kind of stuff. But anyway, I appreciate you being here today. We're gonna start talking about Pam Bondi. I told you guys before, Pam Bondi is gone. Epstein's gonna wipe her out. Kash is next, right? Lutnick, I thought was gonna be gone by the end of March. That didn't happen, but I think he's probably on the chopping block here pretty soon. Christie Noem's out. I mean, Trump's starting to fire people. 12 of the generals, they've all been shit canned in the last 24 hours, or excuse me, 48 hours. So changes are happening, So we'll talk about that. All right. Let's get into it, guys. Who am I? Why are you listening to me? My name is Eric Wilkin. I own the Resplendent Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a fine furniture company. We do about 500 pieces a year. We send them all over America, and we're known for our high gloss lacquer coating. 94% of all my customers are women, right? I'm the guy that sells that shiny furniture you can see in your face. We make it and we spray it right here in St. Louis, Missouri, and we ship it all over America. So if you guys want to know about small business, you want to know how to make things, I tell you guys all the time, hit me up in the comments. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. I also do consults with people. I charge $150 a conversation. And again, I answer all your questions. You can send me an email up front. You guys want to know anything, let me know. But again, it's not required. You can ask it here in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions. So All right, y'all, let's dig into this. Appreciate everybody being this morning. Let's say hi to people, and we'll get after it. So I already said hi to Josh. Appreciate you being here. We got the Squid YT. When is Trump releasing alien info? I don't know. I could care less about aliens, dude. I don't keep up on any of that stuff. Michael Danger, an E4 dismissing career general so he can do illegal operations. Yeah, maybe, man. I got no idea. I don't know what to think about this Hegseth guy. I kind of like the idea of him being at the top. I've always liked the idea of someone who hasn't been away from, what the grunts are doing. I kind of like that idea, but maybe that's not such a wise idea. Maybe this is a good way to, to analyze when we see the fat asses, that are the generals. Those people I always thought those people were kind of a disappointment to the, like you said, the E4s on there. But man, I don't know. I could be wrong. So we'll see what happens. That whole Hegseth seems to be Trump's bitch, if I'm being completely honest. He doesn't seem to have an independent thought in his head. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate your comment, dude. I try to read all your guys' comments as quickly as I can. When you get in the cast early, you generally get your comments read pretty easily. As the cast starts to wind on, once we get towards about 7 o'clock, it starts to get real busy. And then you guys got to do super chats and a super comment. So get your comment in early. He's created by Israel. Yeah, maybe, man. Like I said, Israel seems to have a stranglehold on this country. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is there, but it could be, if you look at the Jewish population, they are highly overrepresented in anywhere where there's power, right? So anywhere like finance, academia, things like that. And, maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know, man, but whatever. I don't try and talk about that stuff too much. I'm not really concerned about it. So, all right, guys, let's dig into headlines, right? Let's start off with, what are the headlines I think you guys should pay attention to, or some things that you aren't going to know about, right? So you guys know I talked about Restoration Hardware the other day, so now I'm going to talk about Bassett Furniture, right? Restoration Hardware makes their furniture in Vietnam and China. Bassett Hardware is an all-American made business, right? All-American furniture company. We're going to talk about them a little bit in our headline. So, headline number one, the Chinese foreign minister says the root cause of the obstruction of navigation into the Strait of Hormuz is the U.S. and Israel's illegal military operation in Iran. And this is one of the things that, again, the other countries are starting to call Trump out, right? Because, again, Trump just waffles all over the place. Like, he does it on purpose. And there's no one saying to Trump, hey, asshole, you can't lie to people. Or, hey, asshole, that's not what you said yesterday. Or, hey, asshole, what the fuck are you doing? No one ever says that to this guy. He just goes up there and just, the strait's open. There's just, the Iranians, they're just shooting missiles in there. Like, and you got these other people, they're basically saying like, oh, well, this conflict's over. We crushed everything. And it's like, Iran keeps launching missiles into Israel. Iran keeps launching missiles into Qatar. Iran keeps launching missiles all over the place. And Trump gets up there every day and says, oh, they're gone. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they keep shooting missiles. They're decimated. They got no Navy. He is a blithering idiot. And again, I voted for this guy 3 times. I sound like I got Trump derangement syndrome, and I don't. But like at some point, someone's got to say to this guy, hey, you know what, asshole? Like, we know you have no clothes on. Like, stop it. You sound like an idiot. Like, people are losing faith in you. You're disrespecting the people that voted for you. You're an embarrassment to our country, dude. You got to knock this shit off. So anyway, the foreign leaders are starting to call Trump out to his face. The chick from Italy. She said the same thing, Now you got China saying the same thing. A lot of these European nations, they're saying the same thing. And Trump, he'll go in there and say, oh, God, we stuck up for you with Ukraine. Now you're not going to help us out in the Strait of Hormuz. And it's like, motherfucker, Ukraine isn't a NATO nation. What are you talking about? Oh, they would have went up to Europe. Russia would have conquered them. And they always paint the worst case scenario. And the truth is that it's probably not going to be as bad as you think it is. Anyway, Trump's just an idiot. Like, I'm so disappointed with this man, and again, I sound like I got Trump derangement syndrome, but again, it's insane. Okay, headline number 2: Pete Hegseth fires 12 generals in 24 hours. So clearly, this military campaign isn't going the way that Trump and his buddies wanted to go. And again, the guy's looking like a fool on the world stage. He's destroying our credibility as a nation. He's not helping out our military. He's not making our military look very good by Iran basically just launching missiles. And again, we keep saying that we're crushing everything. We keep talking one way, and then we go and we look at the news and we're like, that doesn't really kind of correlate with what our government's saying. This sounds a little bit like propaganda, right? And so I'm not against the American military. I'm not against us going over and crushing people. But Jesus Christ, man, you got to be honest. You got to level with the people as to what's really happening. So it sounds like it sounds like Hegseth is getting rid of the people that don't want to do this military invasion or these ground troops into Iran. So he's probably going to start nixing people until they agree with what he wants them to do. And this is probably what Trump told Hegseth it needs to happen. And again, we're just slow rolling this thing till we put boots on the ground, and then the real problems are going to start. Because again, Iran isn't Kansas, man. Like Iran isn't even Iraq or Afghanistan. Iran is a insanely mountainous terrain. And again, this is unlike Afghanistan and unlike Iraq. These people have been waiting for us. They've been waiting for Israel, and they have just hundreds of miles of mountainous caverns throughout these mountain ranges. So again, when we go on there and we try and bomb them from the air, it doesn't really do much, right? If we want to really get this thing going on, we have to be doing like we did in Vietnam, where we're essentially we're going underground trying to find these guys, and it's not looking forward to, So again, Hegseth's just shit canning people until he gets the people that can give him the plan that he needs to give to Donald Trump, so that Donald Trump can then put boots on the ground, and we can see how that's going to work out, So super excited about that. So again, look for new appointments there in the military. Okay, headline number 3. This is from CNN, by the way. Roughly half of the Iranian missile launchers are still intact. Thousands of one-way drones remain, U.S. intelligence reports, So again, Trump is embarrassing all of us that voted for him, and he's lying to us at best about what's really going on over there. The Fox News, CNN, all these people are just spewing shit tons of propaganda, and it's super frustrating as a taxpayer, right? It's super frustrating as a guy who tried to serve in the military, and it's super frustrating all the people that actually serve in the military. It's very disingenuous, So, what are we doing? Like, when is Trump going to be honest with people? Again, be honest with people. It's okay. Yeah, not gonna hurt to be honest with the American people. We can take it, I promise, So, so the intelligence reports are saying that, again, we're not doing the damage that we're being told we're doing. We're not as effective as we believe we are. And again, that's no slight against the military or anyone. That's just the fact that, again, these guys are dug in, And again, you got to be honest with the American people about it. And it doesn't seem like we're being that way, So anyway, headline number 4. Donald Trump seeks a $1.5 trillion military budget. And this is just like, again, guys, I'll get into the comments. Give me one more headline. I'll jump into the comments and say hi to everyone. $1.5 trillion military budget. Okay, so this is straight out of the art of the deal, right? So you always over ask, right? So you can walk it back to what it is that you really want. So again, if Trump's sitting at about $900 billion right now for the military, he says, I want $1.5 trillion for the military. He probably wants 1.1, 1.2, somewhere in there, and he'll call that victory. But classic art of the deal. And anyway, so does seem like a good number to you guys? Do you guys think that Trump deserves $1.5 trillion? So here's some things about the military that's kind of interesting. The Department of Defense hasn't passed an audit in 8 years. I used to be an auditor, okay? Generally, when you can't pass an audit, there are repercussions, right? So when Raytheon would come in and they would audit our business, Global Engineering and Technology in Wichita, Kansas, we had to go through every receipt, right? When we were, what we used to do is we used to build furniture for their jets, right? So Raytheon used to own Beech, right? Beechcraft used to make jets, a turboprop planes, and we used to make some of the cabinets for those turboprop planes. And again, these guys would come in and they'd want to see, well, okay, this $1,500 structural I-beam that used to go in this credenza cabinet, okay, where's the receipt for that? How much are you paying for that? And they would literally come in and make sure that we were paying what we were telling them we were paying, right? We were making sure that we were ordering the materials that met the specifications, right? Whether it was the mil specs or the ANSI specs, we'd have to show them, hey, this is what we're buying. It meets all these specs. Here's the cost, right? And you did this every couple of years. The DOD hasn't passed one of these things in 8 years. And again, these guys keep getting money. We keep giving them budgets, right? We keep letting them spend as much or more every single year. So when is the Department of Defense going to pass an audit? Because again, I used to do audits all the time. Like, I don't understand why these guys can't pass an audit. And the truth is because they don't want to. That's what it boils down to. And you can say, oh, it's too big, it's hard to go through all those things. Bullshit. Again, I used to do auditing, and it's just, anyway, so we got that coming up. I don't know if Trump's going to get that, but I'm sure that'll be in the headlines today. And again, Trump's famously just said, we don't have any money for healthcare. We don't have any money for Medicare, Medicaid, child care, because again, we got to go buy bombs. We need to go fight wars. And That's not going to play very well come election time. Like, again, I'm not a guy that thinks we need to have universal health care and universal child care, but when you say to people's face, you know what, there's no health care because we got to buy bombs, man. Oof. That's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. Holy shit, man. Trump is, I mean, you guys got to admit, like, Trump's not as sharp as he used to be. He's kind of losing it a little bit. You might not have all of his marbles up there, you know. I think Trump's slipping a little bit, but whatever. We'll see what it is. All right, I got one more headline. We're going to talk about Bassett Furniture, right? Is one of the oldest and most respected furniture companies in America. We're going to talk about their earnings for a second, and we're going to talk about it in relation to the Restoration Hardware numbers that I was giving you guys the other day. So, let's say hi to more people today. All right, who's in here? We got someone's in here throwing in all kinds of comments. This is PCP DRV, or was that PCP Diver Man? Interesting name. All right, me too. He fooled me. The only good thing is more bases over there. Keep our boys home. Yeah, I don't know. I think we got to bring people back. I think that, again, everyone says, oh, God, if you want to bring people home, that means you don't care about American exceptionalism. You don't care about our military. You think that we failed, that we're a pussy country. And I was like, no, man, we just got other things to work on here. It's after you've seen like really beautiful places, like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, these kind of places, like you realize that like America is falling apart. Like we got to work on this place. We got things to work on here, and having hundreds of bases abroad, isn't really benefiting Americans. So yeah, it's time to pull things back, man. All right, he's created by Israel. All right, man, me too. He could have changed the world. Instead, he's just like all the rest. Yeah, and that's kind of how I see it, man. I say that on these casts all the time. Like, Trump could have been a great president. I don't know that he would have been like a Rushmore-worthy president, but the problem with Donald Trump is that he wants to be on Mount Rushmore, right? And again, a lot of presidents, they have to play the hand they're dealt. Trump is trying to literally reshuffle the deck. He's trying to become a wartime president. He's trying to create a conflict that he can then solve, right? And then go down in history as the guy that, created peace in the Middle East. And the truth is that the Middle East wasn't that bad. Again, say what you will about the Abraham Accords, but most of those guys over there, when you get them all on board talking about money, again, everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to be able to buy food. Everyone wants to be able to buy cars. Everyone wants to be able to buy Netflix subscriptions. Everyone wants to be able to buy McDonald's and Starbucks. Like this is it's just a known thing around the world, And again, the Abraham Accords were the conduit to do that, right? Bring everyone in here, get them all working together, get them all making a bunch of money, and people are generally happier when money's being made and being allocated across the economy. It generally works, and the Middle East was doing fine. Trump went over there and dropped a fucking bomb in that thing, and now we're all paying for it. I mean, everybody's paying for it. And again, this is not going to play well for America. Trump thinks that he's building up America, is going to turn us into Rome, and he doesn't have the stones for it. He doesn't have the ability to do it. The American people don't want it. If the American people wanted this thing to happen, it would happen, but they don't. And Trump is trying to manufacture consent. He's trying to manufacture problems that he can then go solve, that he can then bring back to America and say, look at all this great stuff that I've done. And all he's doing is pissing everyone off. So again, say what you will about the guy. I'm like I said, three-time Trump voter. And again, I like the guy for the most part, but he's fucking up big time. Like he doesn't see it. I don't know if he just doesn't have anyone around him who's willing to say, hey, dude, like this isn't working. Like we gotta cut bait, right? And he doesn't want to do it, So we'll see what happens. All right, KM Fisk 13, the lamp looks for Gile. Yes, and again, the lamp is the staple of the podcast. Everyone knows that. You see the leg lamp? Eric's somewhere. All right, the lamp looks for Gile. Notification, YT Mod, would you allow your kids to join the military? Yeah, I'd allow my kids to join the military. I think joining the military is one of the single greatest things you can do for your country. But the problem is that when your country manufactures a war, right, that's not what the military is for. This is not, I don't believe the military is this thing where we just decide we're going to go kick ass and take names. Like, no, you got to come here. I'm one of these guys that, again, you have a great military, you do the Theodore Roosevelt thing, you speak softly and carry a big stick, right? This is one of the things that was great about 9/11. Again, I was the guy that rushed to the Army to go sign up right after 9/11. A lot of people did that, and we wanted to protect our country, right? We wanted to go find out who this was, and we wanted to go kick ass and take names, and that's what we did. The problem is that the people in power then took all of us, us country boys, us white guys, that generally sign up for the military. The poor black guy that signs up for the military is like, hey, man, we're going to go nation build. We're going to go make this country even better. We're going to go, inflict our will on everyone or implement our will on everyone. It's going to be great for America. And it turned into a massive clusterfuck, So I still carry the same ethos. You know, again, you want to come over here, you want to fuck with us? Good. We're going to wipe you off the map. We're going to send our military over there, just like in World War II. We're going to go and fuck you up, and then we're going to come home, and we're going to go, go back to drinking Budweiser and watching football. But we don't do that. And again, Trump wants to do a version of that, but the problem is that he's going over and fucking with people. This is the thing. Like, again, you can't get America behind you when you just go over there and start talking shit. Oh, God, Iran had missiles. Oh, Iran was going to get nukes. Okay, name one country that got a nuclear weapon where it was worse off. Okay, it doesn't. Nukes are stabilizers. They're not destabilizers. And again, this guy's treating us all like we're idiots. He's treating it all like we can't go back and look at all the countries that got nuclear weapons and see, well, what happened? It's like, oh God, Iran's different. They're oh God, what's the word they use? They're using weapons offensively, right? Every fucking country that got nuclear weapons was using their weapons offensively before they got nuclear weapons, and then guess what happened? They all calmed down. Every fucking one of them. Just go look at it. The only one that didn't calm down was America, which is kind of funny. And again, I'm all for kicking ass and taking names, but I'm not into doing it this way. This is just all kinds of wrong. And again, there's something about this this state of Israel that just has a stranglehold over America. I can't figure out what it is, but this one little tiny country with 9.5 million people has destabilized the entire Middle East. Everywhere that fucking state goes gets destabilized, and America's right behind them. Because again, the truth is that if it was just up to Israel, these Muslim countries would join together and they would fucking destroy these guys because of all the shit they've stirred up, right? But again, America's always back there going, don't fuck with these guys. For whatever reason, I can't figure it out. And now America is doing the same thing that Israel's been doing. We're going to go over there and we're going to go destabilize these places. And for what? What, for $150 barrel oil? For what? Because inflation hasn't, beat down the average American for the last 5 years. That wasn't enough. Now we need more. Like, wait a minute. Like, what are we doing? Again, when we elected Donald Trump, again, getting the popular vote, winning all the swing states, which never happens for Republicans. Like, you got a lot of Democrats that jumped ship, voted for Trump. You got a lot of independents that jumped ship, voted for Trump, and elected this guy to do the shit that he ran on in the 20 points that I read for you guys yesterday about MAGA. The guy hasn't done hardly any of it. So America is fucking pissed. I don't care what news program you guys are watching. I don't care what guy you follow on X. I don't care if you even listen to me. America is fucking pissed, right? And again, Donald Trump is going to take a beating. He is going to take a beating in the midterms, so saddle up, guys, because again, it's going to get bad. It's going to get really bad for Republicans. It's going to get really bad for Donald Trump. It's going to get bad for anyone that is in this guy's orbit because he didn't do the thing he did. Had he just done what he ran on, he'd probably go down as one of the greatest presidents of all time. But for some reason, he can't do it, and I can't figure it out. Just put in the comments if you guys know what's going on there. But anyway, I'm not going to go on too much about that. I appreciate the comments, guys. All right, let's see. PCP Diver. He'll never be honest. He can never lose. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't figure him out. All right, notification. YT Mod. Love the lamp. All right, cool, man. I like it too. All right, no. Try to audit the midterms are already over. Yes, they are. OG Lock 408. Is that the lamp for Christmas? Yes, it is. Everyone loves the lamp for Christmas story. It's legit, guys. It's the real deal. Okay. It's lamp for. Okay. This is Dragmeyer Kirby. Interesting. Military spending is 3% of GDP. Okay, yeah, dude. Whatever, man. GDP doesn't matter. GDP is an artificial number. GDP is something that is created by mathematicians and economists to support whatever it is the government wants to do, right? It's not, GDP isn't really that important of a number today, especially with the kind of inflation that we have going on. Again, GDP is a joke, so we need to completely change how we actually calculate GDP, right? And again, when you live in a debt and leverage-based society, GDP will almost always go up. Number will almost always go up, because again, it's not real. All right. There's a great story about GDP, right? You got two guys. They're walking in the woods, right? And they stumble upon a piece of bear shit, right? And each of these economists, they look at the piece of bear shit, and the economist says to the other one, says, hey, you know what? I'll give you $100 for this piece of bear shit, right? So he then gives the economist $100, right? This is $100 of GDP growth. Well, then the economist says to the other economist, hey, I'll sell you this piece of bear shit for $100, right? So between the two of them, they have $100, right? Between the two of them, they then buy a piece of shit from each other. Then that's $200 in GDP, Okay, again, it's a fucking retarded metric. Okay, they didn't create the bear shit, right? None of them actually did anything to earn the money that they got for the bear shit. They exchange it back and forth, and then that makes number go up. And this is GDP. It's a ridiculous metric, and I don't know why we use it, but it is what it is. All right, Bish the Fish, man, great name. Kai and his work for me to believe that I could do the same time. Thomas, the same as the people who are still. Okay, dude, I got no idea what you're saying to do, but I appreciate your comment. Let's see. Not sure what you're saying there. Diver. He knows his stuff. You won't last long. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Okay, that'll show you. Be careful. This is Captain Blackbird. Captain Blackbird 7. Interesting name, dude. Why? How did you come up with that name? I'm curious how you came up with that name. The lamp looks like someone's nightmare. All right, what movie is the lamp from? Again, it's A Christmas Story. This is he, 6959. All right, Captain Blackbird. Who is he? I didn't fight into any war. I didn't fight. Okay, not sure you're saying that, dude. Juggled 18. Let me see your name right. Juggled 1839. Territory check. This is a MAGA stream. This is not a MAGA stream. This is a small business stream, right? This is a stream about someone who doesn't have any allegiances to anyone. My allegiance is to my employees. My allegiance is to my customers, right? That's what this cast. We got a lot of regulars that come in here, you guys. Check it out. Give it 5 streams and see what you guys think about it, okay? You guys want to know about small business? You want to know how to work with wood. You want to know how to work with metal. You want to learn how to paint. We do all that stuff in here. We also talk once a day about a current event. We talk about politics a little bit. And again, that's what I do. So, all right, Fuzz Bucket 1682, nice lamp. Thank you, dude. All right, Mr. Peaceful 1, TF, is you on about night? I can't know what you're saying there, dude. Pippa the Tiny Explorer, great name, story of dogs. All right, Stupid Lamp. This is Cook Yahoo. Okay, guys. So let's take it to our next headline, and then we're going to talk about Pam Bondi and the Epstein files. Everyone loves the Epstein files. It seems like YouTube is just all about conspiracy. We grew this channel talking about the Epstein files, right? So again, we blew this channel up in about 30 days talking about Jeffrey Epstein and all that bullshit. It seems like the algorithm just loves conspiracy talk, so we'll dig into the Epstein files a little bit here. Okay, so here we go. Bassett Furniture. I want to talk to you guys about Bassett Furniture real quick. So Bassett Furniture earnings slipped amid the housing market consumer sentiment, okay? The truth is that the thing that Bassett Furniture cited as one of the big problems with missing their sales targets is the housing market, right? The housing market has been just in decline for 3 years, like big time, and it's just really slow. It's a malaise. With the interest rates with the interest rates being where they are, a lot of people aren't buying homes, right? But the real problem, and again, what I talk about on this cast, is that we need massive deflation in this country. If we don't get deflation, everything is going to slow down significantly until inflation takes a hold so much that no one can afford anything, okay? So when everyone talks, oh God, we need lower interest rates, when Donald Trump's telling you guys, oh, we need lower interest rates, the Fed needs to lower interest rates, inflation's coming down, okay? The truth is, guys, inflation isn't coming down. Inflation is still running hot. The way that the Fed calculates inflation is all bullshit. We have essentially 30 to 40% inflation in the last 5 years, okay? This is unsustainable as a country. Now, the housing market is wildly overpriced, right? So at some point, in order to get the housing market or the cost of houses to come down, you have to inflate supply. And until Donald Trump wants to inflate supply, like nothing's going to change, and the housing markets continue to just kind of bump along really slow. And the only reason Donald Trump wants the Fed to lower interest rates is because our federal government has to roll over its debt, right? So every time the federal government prints money, they're doing it with debt, guys. It's not like they just print the fucking money and then, it's just out there in the ether. No, they have to print debt. Print debt, So what's getting ready to happen is the federal government has to roll over their debt, right? So they do this thing in 3 to 5 year increments. And what's happening is when they took on this debt before, interest rates were wildly low. They've been low for 15 years. Well, now the Fed's starting to raise those interest rates because you have to slow the economy down, because that's what curbs inflation. And again, as this happens, the number one line item on the federal budget is going to be debt repayment. It's going to be interest. And this is the thing that Donald Trump is trying to turn around by artificially screwing all of you guys. And I don't want to tell you guys, like, you guys are fucked, man. It's not going to be good. Inflation needs to, the interest rates need to get up to 10, 15, 20%, just like Paul Volcker did back in the 80s. And until that happens, you guys, everything is just going to It's just going to bump along here real slow. Everyone's just going to buy their essentials. The economy is just not going to move very fast. And again, as the K-shaped economy continues to move, the wealthy are going to continue to get wealthier. They're going to keep buying everything. Right now, the top 10% of all income earners buy 50% or 60% of all the shit. Right? And again, as a guy who sells luxury furniture, guess who I sell all my furniture to? And what I see happening is that if this situation with the cost of living doesn't get unfucked really quickly, everybody is going to be catering to these people. You know, I don't want to tell you guys, you want to start a business, this is what you're going to have to do. If you want to get out of the rat race of working the W-2, you're going to have to cater to these people because they're the only ones buying stuff. They're the only ones that are going to buy stuff for enough money. They're going to give you guys enough margin to be able to pay yourself something. Okay, and it's wildly frustrating. But Bassett Furniture is saying the same thing that Restoration Hardware is saying. The housing market is fucked. It just really is. And it doesn't matter if you're in America, if you're in Paris where Restoration Hardware is, you know, if you're over there in China, right? Again, everyone's slow right now. Nothing is moving. Everything in everyone's economies right now is overpriced. And again, inflation is still moving up, right? The Fed's going to tell you that it's slowing down, but it's not, right? Watch what happens to the interest rate. The inflation rate here at the end of the next quarter. Okay, you guys are going to see it's going to be somewhere between 4 and 5% because of gas, right? Because of this whole conflict over in Iran. Okay, you guys are getting ready to see an inflation rate that is going to shock everyone. And again, maybe this is going to be the thing where Congress finally opens up their mouth and says, you know what, Donald Trump, we're taking away your power to wage war, which they can do. Congress can absolutely do that. But I don't know if they're going to do it. You know, maybe they're going to 25th this guy, you know, say, you know what, Donald Trump, you're talking fucking crazy, man. You're saying one thing one day and you're saying another thing another day. No one can figure out what's real because you can't speak the truth. If you can't tell the truth, man, you got to go, you know, then, and they can absolutely 25th Donald Trump. And again, I did a cast on this a while back. This might need to be what happens. Again, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Everyone says he's got a plan. I hear this all the time. I go, oh, people think Trump's dumb. People think Trump doesn't have a plan. He's got a plan, right? You listen, Professor Zhang, right, on YouTube, he seems to think that Trump's got a plan, you know? And I've talked about maybe his plan is to get all the energy, use all the energy to bludgeon everyone over the head to America's will. I mean, that's all I got. I don't think this guy's got a plan, guys. So if you guys think he has a plan, put in the comments. I'd love to bat it back and forth with you guys. And again, I see comments are coming in. Give me just one more second to talk about Bassett Furniture, and we'll say hi to everyone, and then we'll jump to the bulk of our discussion. So anyway, so Bassett Furniture says the housing economy is just toast. They missed their revenues. So what do you guys understand about Bassett Furniture? American-made furniture company. They're one of the oldest companies in America in the furniture space. They generally do what's called wholesale and retail. They make it all right here in America. Okay, now they're making a ton of furniture. They're then selling it to stores, right? The stores then mark it up and sell it at the retail rate. Okay, Bassett Furniture did $80 million last quarter. Okay, Restoration Hardware did 800. Right, so Restoration Hardware is the big daddy, but the difference is Restoration Hardware is making all their shit in China and Vietnam. Bassett Furniture is doing it all here in America, right? So again, super easy to scale up a company when you're paying slaves to do the work. Very difficult to do it here in America, right? So you guys know on this casting, you guys have followed me for a long time. I'm a huge advocate for massive tariffs on the third world and kicking the third world out of here so that you guys can make a decent salary, right? So you guys can get decent benefits by forcing large corporations to have to hire you, right? Forcing more businesses to hire Americans, to hire the people that we have here in America, because currently the incentive is to not hire you guys, right? The incentive is to not pay you what they should be paying you because, again, if you don't want to work for the salary that they want to pay you, they'll just bring the third world in here. They'll do that work. And if you don't like that even more, well, then they'll just send the work to the third world. They'll do it over there. And this is the thing. Then you guys end up on welfare. You end up driving fucking Uber. You end up, working in restaurants. You end up doing all the bullshit jobs, working for Amazon, these kind of things. And again, no shade against that. Good on you guys for working. But at the same time, these are not the jobs that we were promised, right? There's better jobs here in America. But again, if you let corporations and big business outsource them or bring other workers in here, you guys are never going to get what you're entitled to as Americans. So Bassett Furniture has been doing it right for a long time. I remember reading an article about a year ago. They were trying to start a new paint shop, a new finishing shop. And again, the permitting process just to get the building built took a year. It's insane. And again, this is one of the reasons that large companies don't make shit here in America anymore. The minute they can, they just outsource all the third world because the regulations slow everything down. I talked to you guys. We we built the Empire State Building in 415 days. Soup to nuts, done. Right? And again, we've been using that thing for 100 years now. We can't build a fucking bridge, the Francis Scott Bridge. We can't build that thing over in Baltimore, Maryland, because again, they can't get out of the design phase. They're too busy, you know, doing land acknowledgements and making sure the fucking Native Americans are represented in the design of this thing. They can't fucking build a bridge. So it doesn't make any sense, but that's how it is. Like the light rail project in California, right? They've been talking about that thing for a decade now. They can't get it done. Initially, it was supposed to cost $33 billion. I think they're up to like $120 billion on that project. Again, they don't have any track built, you know, and the people aren't demanding like, where the fuck is our money? They just keep shelling out the money. You know, so again, this country's broken from a get shit done standpoint, guys. I feel like this cast has turned into a bashing the federal government and bashing academia channel, and I don't want it to be that. But at the same time, you can't deny that in the 30s, you know, we were able to build things like Hoover Dam, Empire State Building. We were able to go to the moon in the 60s, right? We're sending Artemis 2 rocket. You guys see this thing? We're sending Artemis 2 rocket to fly around the moon. We did this shit 60 fucking years ago, and we're acting like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, we're talking about, oh my God, we need to bring manufacturing back to America. Like, no, we already did that shit. It was here, and you guys fucking gave it away. You know, we're talking, oh my God, we need to make chips. The fucking microchips used to be built here. Like, the microchip was started by Texas Instruments. The fucking first microprocessor was built by Intel in Oregon, where I'm from. We used to do this work here, and we sent it all away so that you guys could go to college and fucking stockholders could get tons of dividend payments. Okay, now we're talking like, oh my God, we're going to spend tons of money. Inflation Reduction Act, right? Infrastructure projects, you know, infrastructure bills, $1.7 trillion to bring that work back here. It's like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? We're literally redoing everything that we did 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and we're calling it progress. Like, we can't be this dumb as a society. Like, we cannot be this dumb, guys. Artemis rocket, give me a fucking break. Oh my God, it's so inspirational. God damn, like, this is insane, guys. You guys have to, like, if you guys like this kind of content and you think that I'm right, hit the like button. Like, Jesus Christ. You guys got to admit that we're doing nothing new. We're doing nothing innovative in this country. Fucking nothing. We're rehashing shit that we did in the 90s, in the 60s, in the 30s, and we're trying to call it progress. Like, we're being bamboozled as a society. It's fucking insane, guys. And sorry for the profanity, but geez Louise, I'm so disgusted at what we call progress today. Like, oh my God, we're so smart, we're so innovative. Like, no, we are literally a retarded country. Like, literally a retarded country. We're acting like, again, look at these rockets. The first black woman in space, the first man of color to go out of low Earth orbit, right? The first woman. This is the stuff that we're calling progress. we did all this in 1968, guys. Like, give me a break. What are we doing? This is not progress, man. Anyway, don't focus on the war over in Iran. Look over here at this rocket. Look at the shiny rocket. Whew. Anyway, back to Bassett Furniture. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Bassett Furniture is having a tough time, right? Restoration Hardware is having a tough time. Restoration Hardware, their stock price, it went from $240 down to $110. It's getting crushed. Bassett Furniture was trading at about $15. It's down to about $14. So again, sales are low at Bassett Furniture. They lost, you know, whatever, 7%. Restoration Hardware is having trouble because of tariffs and using slave labor in the third world. Their stock price is more than cut in half, okay? That's all you need to know. This country isn't making progress, guys. The progress that we made since 1994 is outsourcing work. That's it. We didn't get smarter as a country. We didn't create better technologies as a country. They literally, big business literally sold you guys out to the third world and said, hey, guess what, guys? You're going to go work in an office. It's going to be amazing. You're going to get a college degree, and you're going to, you know, get the white picket fence, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, the BMW, the wife, the husband, the dog, the kids, all that kind of fun stuff. Now we're realizing, no, fuck, man. We didn't make anything. We got all this debt, you know, again, like, all we do is print money. We got all these college graduates, and fuck, man, we got to bring the real work back here because we don't know what we're going to do with this. AI's been in here. You got Amazon cutting, you know, 20, 30,000 jobs. You got Oracle cutting 30,000 jobs. Microsoft's cutting 10,000 jobs. Everyone's cutting tons of fucking jobs. They're like, God, bring back the blue-collar workers, you know, and the white-collar guys like, oh my God, we need work. What are we going to do? Trade us, send us to trade school. And we're like, there's no trade school, dude. It's called go getting a fucking job. Wait a minute, what? I'm supposed to get a degree. Can I get a bachelor's in general labor? Can I get a master's in roofing? Can I get a master's in welding? Like, what do? I don't know what to do. And we're like, hey, dude, you just fucking show up to the job site and ask for a fucking job. Oh my God, I don't know if I can do that. Like, what? Like, yeah, and then maybe I'd put some boots on. Well, I don't know any boots. What are boots? Like, what are those? Like, maybe you need a tool belt. What's a tool belt? What is it, like a pocket protector? Like, it's getting ready to get so bad, guys. These fucking white collar people are just, they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know what hit them. You know, and then we're going to, when they see the language that we use in blue collar work, when they see that they got to take a shower after they get home as opposed to before they get home, when they have to go to when they got to go to Target and buy a lunchbox, you know what these guys are going to do? They're just going to hang their heads in fucking shame. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be like the movie 300. I cannot wait. Sorry, guys, I shouldn't say this stuff as a business owner and a guy who likes to help people, but goddamn, I'm so over the being told that I'm a loser my entire life because I didn't want to go to college. Like, I'm so over it. Anyway, sorry guys, I was talking about Bassett Furniture. I got carried away. So anyway, housing market is in trouble. All the furniture companies are in trouble. Again, I got a furniture company. Our sales are down. Everyone's sales are down. And we need more money for war, right? We need more money to go focus on Iran because that's going to help the housing market, right? Go focus on the war in Iran because that's going to bring the cost of gas down. That's going to bring the cost of housing down. That's going to make your lives more affordable. The cost of beef is going to get down after we control Iran. So keep it up, and you guys keep supporting this thing, or whoever is supporting this thing. And again, Donald Trump's got a plan. So, okay, let's say hi to everyone. We're going to the bulk of our discussion, which is the curse of Epstein, right? The curse of Jeffrey Epstein and his massive honeypot blackmail operation. And everyone that touches this thing eventually gets kicked out of office, eventually gets killed or has to go to jail. So the pattern is consistent. And again, we can go over all the people that are in the Epstein files who have been either kicked out of their jobs, have been kicked off boards, have gone to jail, or mysteriously disappeared, because there's actually a lot of people. So we'll go through all that stuff. I appreciate you guys being here this morning and again listening to me carry on about how retarded we've become as a nation and how our rocket technology and these great things that we're doing with the moon we did 50, 60 years ago, and we're calling this progress. Talking about how we build these amazing bridges and these amazing buildings, and the truth is we don't build jack shit. We build nothing in this country. And change is a-coming. Change is a-coming, guys. So anyway, here we are. Let's go, guys. Where are we at in the comments? Let's see. Let me go back, guys. So again, we don't have a ton of people in this morning, so I should be able to get to everyone's comments pretty easily. So here we go. Let's see. Cook Yahoo says, stupid lamp. All right. Ollie Cave, good to see you. Customers make you the money, but don't forget it. Don't forget, if it wasn't for the workers, you wouldn't have money in your pocket too. So who comes first, workers or customers? Wouldn't good workers get you more? So Ollie Cave, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I don't think you know what you're talking about. Here's how small business works, dude. Small business generally starts because a person has an idea, right? They see, maybe they like to do something. Maybe they like cooking. Maybe they like cleaning. Maybe they like, building shit. Like they like creating technology, like making t-shirts. It usually comes with a passion, right? And generally that passion then leads into someone saying to you something that goes like this, like, hey, you know what? You're pretty good at that, man. You should start a business. And that generally gets the wheels turning, right? So then you start doing this thing, right? You put it out there. Then suddenly a customer says, oh my God, that's pretty cool, man. Let me give you some money for that. Or, hey, you know what? I kind of like what you got going on there. Hey, why don't you tell me more about that thing? And then you start a dialogue, right? And this is called starting a lead, right? You start to build up a customer base, and you start doing this several times. You get a customer, right? Then eventually you're like, man, this is pretty cool, man. Maybe I can do this full time. And then after it's full time, well then, hey, I got a job. I got this W-2 that I'm tethered to. Well, maybe I can make enough doing this thing. How do I do it? Do I need to hire a person? Do I need to go try and mortgage something to get a loan? Like, how am I going to make this escape from this W-2 thing? Well, eventually you have that discussion, right? So then at that point, you're probably going to have a couple of customers, right? So to answer your question, is it customers before employees? It's always customers. Customers drive everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of employees you have, right? Whether you have good employees or you have shitty employees, right? The customer dictates everything. If the customer likes your shitty product, you can have shitty employees, right? Generally, they don't. But if the customer likes your product, you deliver a great product, odds are you've got good employees. Odds are you take care of your employees, right? If there's one thing I know about business is that it's very hard to have a business and keep that business going with shitty employees, right? If you're one of these companies, unless you get big enough, right? Once you get big enough, you can have systems in place to do it. But if you have a constant coming and going of employees, very difficult to start a small business, right? So anyway, customers are always first. Customers fix everything and dictate everything. People like say, oh my God, the boss can go do whatever they want. Like, no. The customer's the boss. The customer dictates absolutely everything. So again, Ollie K, I'm not exactly sure if you know exactly what you're talking about there, but hope that helps. Okay, man than F1. Captain Blackbird. Captain. Wow. Okay. Larry the Bird. So here we go. Captain Blackbird. Captain is captain. Bird refers to Larry Bird, but to the NBA. The black refers to wishing Larry was black. I grew up in the 90s, right? And I was a basketball player. I played basketball, when I was in high school. I played basketball forever. I loved basketball. So I was around when, like, the Dream Team was a big thing. Man, what a great time for basketball. Basketball's gone to shit, guys. And I hate to sound like a fucking a doomer here, but, like, a lot of things that just aren't what they used to be. And I don't know if it's like nostalgia. I mean, I'd love to know if there's people here that are like in their 20s and 30s. Like, do you think of things today as being amazing? Because again, as I move forward in life, I tend to look more, and maybe this is like a getting old thing, but I tend to look like things were better back in the 90s. Things were better in the early 2000s. I don't think that we're going forward as a society, So again, Larry Bird is a legend, man. He was so fun to watch. Him and Jordan and like Charles Barkley was always my favorite basketball player. But I mean, you had some great players. Vince Carter was awesome. I was a big fan of Grant Hill. I always liked Duke University, I don't know, man. But thanks for the clarification. I didn't know that. Captain Blackbird was referred to Larry Bird. That's interesting. Okay, Captain Blackbird is a play on Captain Blackbird, using the Blackbird instead as a raven, or they are the harbingers of death. Okay, well, Ollie Cave, I didn't know. Okay, so apparently no one knows what this means. I don't know who to believe. So, all right, can you make wooden cabinets with secret drawers or hidden spots in them? Yes, you can, but this is what you do on YouTube. No one actually wants that shit. It always plays well in one-off applications. It plays good to the people that don't really make furniture or don't really buy furniture. So again, it's not very practical, and no one ever asks for it except people on YouTube. All right, clip of 90s. I suck out my big toe when I get nervous. It calms me down. All right, good for you, man. Everyone's got to have a coping mechanism. I'm in construction in Oklahoma. It's enough to work daily, not like it was. Well, that's what part of Oklahoma are you in from, dude? This is WTF over 2. I'm interested in where you're at in Oklahoma. I lived in Tulsa for, I think, maybe 4 years. I worked for Nordam there, which is one of the biggest employers. Right by Whirlpool over there by Pooler. Was it Pooler? What's the town next to Tulsa? I think Pooler's in Georgia. But anyway, yeah, things don't pay what they used to. Paul 4, Krista 20, love the Christmas story Lego. Thanks, guys. All right, that's why you have a union. Yeah, no, again, unions aren't the answer, but everyone loves to go back to unions. All right, Mid-River 02, Area 51, okay. They ruined that beautiful state of Oregon. It's really sad. Yeah, this is JD Sports Live. Yeah, and again, my dad's lived there for 70 years, and he just says he doesn't even recognize Oregon anymore, especially Portland where he lives. He can't understand what's happened to that state and how people could let that thing just go where it went. My dad's like an avid hunter, fisherman, kind of outdoorsman type. I mean, Oregon's paradise for those kind of people. And yeah, he's wildly sad, but he's too fucking old to move. He's just gonna just finish up his days there. So, all right, Son says them. All right, Son says this. Yeah, they're just throwing dweebs under the bus. Nothing will happen. Probably not, man. Plums Crack. All right, man, great name. My uncle is keen on boxing. My uncle was keen on boxing, but then he learned to walk. He took up putting a boot in the groin. Okay, man, interesting comment. Should be continuing research in low Earth orbit. Should be continuing research in low Earth orbit. This is JC Toad. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't understand the whole outer space thing. I don't know. I get that people want to go there, and it's fantastic, and I'm all for it. I think NASA's a massive waste of money, but again, NASA did this stuff back in the mid 70s, and we're acting like this is progress, And again, NASA's just doing the same shit over and over again. And the progress, I guess, is sending the first woman and the first black guy into space, into our outside low Earth orbit. Like, I don't know, man. And it's like, it makes you wonder, like, did we really do all that shit? Were the Apollo missions really what they said they were, or was this a psyop, to demoralize Russia? Like, I don't know what the whole deal is. I mean, I'm not impressed by this Artemis project. I think it's just another fucking black hole that we throw our tax dollars into, So I don't know, man. All right, see, Titan say good morning to Sun. Good morning, Titan. Good to see you, dude. All right, the J-Rock, the ride's been 25 years in office work, been selling roofs for a year now. It's fun to sell. Yeah, interesting, man. This is J-Rock, the ride. Again, nothing wrong with office work, man. We need office work. And this is the thing, though. This is the what I talk about on this cast all the time, guys, is that I get wildly frustrated that we literally sold out the blue-collar worker so that we could pay for the white-collar worker. And this was going to bring about the next part of our society, right? This white-collar revolution, and it was going to lead to all this innovation technology. We're going to get out of the dirt, right? We're going to get into the office. And everyone bought this line of bullshit. And again, you can't have a society that operates like that. Again, both tiers of people have to respect each other, but we basically denigrated one group of people at the expense of another group of people, and you can't do that. You know, you can't do that. And times are changing, guys. And again, I did a cast the other day, said, I don't know if I'm ready to let white collar people into my world. Like, I just don't know if I want them here. Because again, when you have people that have been in academia for so long, their minds are fucked up. Like, what they believe, right, with things like climate change and, you know, hate speech and all these things that you can't say or think, like, they believe this shit. They're complete zealots. You know, and again, most of us, like, we don't care what you say. We don't care who you are. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you got a bull nose ring and a, you know, fucking, you want to wear tits to work as a man. Like, I really don't give a shit. If you're a good worker, I don't care. You know, I'm probably not going to let you talk to any of my customers because you're a freak. But at the same time, you can go build cabinets. I'll keep you in the back. You know, and this is how the real world operates. But oh my God, don't ever say that stuff. How could you say that about someone? Like, I'm a person too. It's like, yeah, you're a person, but you're fucking Fruit Loop. You know. So anyway, if you're selling roofs, you know, again, you know what I'm talking about. You can't be some fucking weirdo, you know, trying to go talk to customers. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. You know, so but good. I'm glad you're doing well. You're liking the work. Working outside is awesome. You know, getting up, counting, you know, calculating squares, you know, so that you can, you know, bid roofs is a freaking awesome job, man. So, okay, let's see. We got Jesus Heaven Heal 12. All right, thanks for being here. Let's see. J-Rock, The Ride, JCT. I'm not sure you're saying that again, guys. I could be behind in my comments. No, I'm caught up. I'm doing good. Louisiana is technically the hunter's paradise. Man, Louisiana is a beautiful state. A lot of people don't know about Louisiana. It gets lumped in with Mississippi as being, you know, this poor black state with all these fucking black people and a bunch of retarded backwoods fucking hillbilly type people, you know, eat crawfish, and it's again, thanks academia. You know, sorry guys. Louisiana's beautiful. Again, a lot of the plywood actually comes out of Louisiana. A lot of cypress wood, a lot of hardwoods come out of there. They're a massive country for hardwoods and plywood. So just so you guys know. All right, Rex asked a lot. All right, Oregon used to be known for people being nice. The opposite is true today. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think there's probably lots of nice people in Oregon. It's just they let the woke take over there. They believe the hype. They didn't want to tell people, like, no, dude, get your shit together. They didn't want to tell people, no, you can't be homeless. Like, no, that we're not going to let the taxpayer. We're not going to let you make the landscape ugly with your fucking tents and your old mobile homes and your fucking drugs and your weed and your, like, we're not going to do that, you know, but they don't want to do that because everyone's a person, you know. Just taxpayer, just shut up and pay your taxes, you know. So yeah, Oregon didn't want to enforce the law, so it's too bad. Okay, yeah, who cares about NASA? They should give us a super leap in batteries before they get any more money. Yeah, I don't know what to do with NASA. Like I said, I grew up in the 80s, right? And I remember sitting in class and they'd literally bring the television in and we'd watch the rockets, the space shuttles, you know, go off into space. It was amazing. It was like, this is really cool, you know, and now we're acting like this is super cool that we do this again. Like, fuck me, man. Like, I'm 46 years old. You should still be able to impress me, but I'm not impressed by almost anything that we do today. I mean, again, when all of your smartest and most intelligent people are basically making apps and working on AI, like, of course your country's gonna not fucking go anywhere. Like, of course it's gonna be retarded. Like, you're not working on the shit that these people should be working on. What, we're gonna build F-35 fighter planes that, you know, cost 10 times as much as the ones we were building back in the 80s, and we don't even use them. We're building, you know, aircraft carriers today, you know, that cost $10 billion, and we won't even take them over into this Iran conflict because the $50,000 drones will sink them. You know, it's like, we're just, I don't know, guys. Like, everything's just a waste of money at this point. Like, I'm just so disgusted with how we spend money in this country. Like, as a taxpayer, it baffles me. The amount of money we could give back to the citizens in this country if we would just cut out the corporate tax cuts and cut the federal budget. Like, it's just insane. We could still provide health care to people. We could still help out the boomers with Medicare and Social Security. Like, we could do a lot better, but we don't want to. Like, it's just like, I don't know if it's that we don't want to or we can't. I don't know. All right, let's see. Who is this? Rex asked a lot. Says academia is a cancer. Trying to find a healthcare provider who's bought a wick dipshit is a task. Yeah, it's not a dipshit. Yeah, no, it's frustrating times, guys. And again, I don't want to. Yeah, I try not to bash academia as much as I do. I don't mean to, but again, when you go back to the source, guys, when you let the experts, basically hire more experts and then only defer to their experts, and you end up in this psychotic circle jerk of experts, you end up with what we have today, and we don't have enough people getting dirty. We don't have enough people with common sense spewing anything. Involved in the process for stuff. We got problems in this country, but we'll see. Sun says, the only things we should focus on in terms of war are drones and things that fight drones like EMPs. Yeah, maybe, man. I don't know. Radar jammers, etc. Rock the Rod. Jay Rock the Ride says, we want the lobbyists pay Congress to ensure the corporations keep focal. Yeah, it sure seems that way. And again, I'm one of these guys. I advocate for cutting off the third world. You cut off the third world, guys, and guess what? Suddenly businesses have to work with the people that they have, not the people that they want. And again, a lot of these large corporations, they convinced all you guys that went to college that, you need to go have an internship, okay? That's called working for free, guys. Okay, yeah, how much fucking more dumb you need to be? I go work for free? Who the fuck works for free? Interns do, yeah, we got a lot of problems, and again, when you guys look at this whole Iran conflict, this stranglehold that places like Israel have on this country, again, Israel is massively or the Jewish population, which could be linked to Israel, has a massive over representation in academia, right? Has a massive over representation in lobbying, and again, good on them. They won the game, but at the same time, we're all paying the price for it, because I don't think that this Iran conflict has anything to do with America, right? I don't think it makes the average American's life better. Academia hasn't made the average American's life better for 10 years at least, right? Academia is the reason COVID happened, right? Academia is the reason that we shut this economy down. Academia is the reason we printed $8 trillion, in 4 years. Like, academia is the reason you guys can't afford anything. Academia is the reason entire generations have been inflated away. It's the reason you guys can't buy homes. It's the reason you can't buy cars. It's the reason property insurance is so high. This is literally the fault of academia because no one is willing to tell the experts, you know what? Shut the fuck up. They won't do it. And again, when your academic model is based on research grants, which are provided by the taxpayers, and then the people that basically disseminate where those research grants goes and how much money is spent on research are also academics that used to be in research, what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to say, oh, no, sorry, guys, we're not getting the technological advances that we need from your research. We're not getting the advances in cancer research. We're not getting the advances in jet propulsion technology. You know what? We're not paying you guys anymore. We're going to let the private sector handle it. It's never going to happen. And this is why your taxes go up every year. The spending goes up every year. The printing of money goes up every year. Because the smartest people and the experts aren't actually the experts or the smartest people. You need to bring common sense back in this country. I say it all the time, guys. Like, common sense has been dead for a long time. It's time to bring it back. You know what I mean? You get the fucking bleeding heart liberals and the academics saying, oh, well, we can't do that. Like, we got to keep working on this thing. It's just the advances are right around the corner. Like, you don't want to be the person that turned off the cancer research because guess what? It could be right around the corner. It could happen next year. You got to keep on keeping on, like Joe Dirt says. And again, it's like the only ones fucking keeping on is the American taxpayer paying 22.5% in income taxes to fund all this fucking black hole research that goes nowhere. So anyway, guys, I probably need to get in the bulk of my conversation. I've been running my mouth for an hour. I appreciate you guys sending your comments in here. Let's see, our Salina Girl's in here. Salina Girl 69. I grew up and wanted to do girl things, and that wound up being sanding, painting, and routing for Micah. Yep, good on you, Salina Girl. And again, Salina Girl's one of the people that's in our channel a lot. She is, I believe, a 5th generation business owner. If I remember correctly, Salina Girl, you might have to correct my numbers there. But yeah, you never know what you're gonna end up doing. And again, I like when girls do girly things, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. My wife ended up sanding furniture and painting furniture, and now she doesn't have to do that stuff, which is great. So now she's just covered in Chanel and beautiful, makeup and jewelry, and she looks amazing. It's fucking awesome as a dirty blue collar guy. I get to be around that hot chick, So, but yeah, Salina Girl, you got a great story. I love your story. So thanks for being rewarded and throwing your comment in there. All right, J-Rock the Ride. I'm about same age as you. The difference between the middle class life of the 80s and today is insane. Our parents truly had it so much easier. Yeah, and again, we could go back to that, But again, the thing that I'm always telling you guys for is nobody wants to take less. And until people are willing to take less, nothing's going to go down in price. Everyone's got to get involved, and no one wants to be involved. Because again, it makes life harder. And again, as Americans, we don't want to reduce our quality of life, and so we're inflating it away one little tiny nano dollar at a time. And it's just we're slowly going over the cliff instead of all at once. And the truth is, if we could just retard the economy, just literally balance the like what you guys have to understand about inflation is that it's just like this silent killer. Like, you guys are making more money than ever, but the money that you're making isn't worth anything. And again, it sounds a little bit messed up, but again, if everyone has access to the same products, right, has the same amount of money to spend on the same amount of products, guess what? The system doesn't work, because again, it's not supposed to work like that. You have to bring supply up, right, to meet the demand. And the truth is that when you give everyone money, right, when everyone has access to all the same products because they all have the same amount of money to spend on everything, the demand goes through the roof, and supply can never catch up. And then you inflate away because you want to give people money to have access to everything. You inflate everyone's dollars that they then get. They're all inflated away, guys. And again, the people that have access to all the money at first is the banks, right? And this is a whole other discussion. I've said it many times. We need to stop this giving banks money, this debt-based society that we have. When the banks get that printed money, guess what? They buy up assets. They give it to all their buddies that then get first access to that money. They buy up all the shit that they want. They get to use it before it inflates, right? And then it makes its way down to people like you and me, and it's worth less. And this is why you guys can't get ahead. So it's, we got to fix the system, and nobody wants to do it. Everyone's terrified. And again, I'm not fucking terrified. I know it would suck. I'd probably lose my business, but I say it all the time. Like, again, if I got to sacrifice and I got to go back to being a wagey, so that we can make things better for people down the road. Like, as I get older in life, like I'm willing to take that risk. I'm happy to give up my tax cuts, my tax breaks. Like, what are you guys willing to give up? Are you willing to give up less in Medicare, Medicaid? Are you willing to give up less in, whatever, Section 8, food stamps? Are you willing to give up less for roads and highways? Are you ready to take the stuff out of the federal government and give it to the states? These kind of things. So like, at some point we got to do that, and I don't think most people are willing to do it. No, it's too bad. All right, J-Rock the Ride. All right, 100% inflation is poison. Yeah, son. Okay, guys, let's get to the bulk of our discussion. I appreciate everyone putting their comments in here this morning. Let's talk about Miss Pam Bondi, everyone's favorite attorney general, right? That chick, man, you know what? I'll tell you what, all you hot chicks that are in here, man, y'all always land on your feet. Like, it just beauty is, women really do hit the jackpot, especially like super hot women. They really do hit the jackpot. Where do you think this chick's going, right? If Trump's like, she's going to have something in the private sector. She's going to go take on another role. Yeah, I'll tell you what this chick's role is going to be, all right? This chick's role is going to be one of the Fox babes. She's going to have a contract at Fox News before you guys know it, right? She's going to be the new Judge Napolitano, or she'll be the new Janine, is it Shapiro? I forget what she's going to be one of those chicks. She's going to be on there because, again, blonde, hot, white girl. You fucking kidding me? Like, that's where that chick's going to end up. And if you guys remember, Ehud Barak, they released the audio file of Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, talking to Jeffrey Epstein. And Jeffrey Epstein just flat out tells him, like, look, dude, man, you need to go work for one of these corporations. They'll just put you on the board. Like, you just give them some information about how the government contracts work with the government in Israel, and Mossad, and they'll just put you on the board, pay you $500,000 a year. And this was back in like the 90s, so that chick's gonna get $500,000 a year to basically just sit on, or excuse me, $500,000 a month just to sit over there and talk on Fox News, be some hot chick that these old fucking boomers can look at. That's all she's gonna be, So anyway, good for her. Good for her. If that's if she had to put in 1 year of getting beat up over the Jeffrey Epstein files, now she's gonna go make probably $5-6 million a year on Fox News. Good for her. But it hasn't been said yet. But just this is Eric's prediction, right? Yeah. Anyway, so okay, here we go. Make sure I bust out my notes here. I got a whole bunch of stuff in front of me on Miss Pam Bondi. We're gonna go through what happened to Pam Bondi, right? We're gonna go through why did Trump get rid of her? What's the real story there? Did you guys know that Pam Bondi was to go before the House Judiciary Committee at the end of the month? Remember, she was supposed to go testify in front of the Judiciary Committee to talk about Jeffrey Epstein more, because apparently Congress is super pissed that she hasn't released half the fucking files that she was congressionally obligated to release. Congress didn't seem very interested, but suddenly they are interested, and guess what? She gone. She's out of here. And the truth is that I'm sure Congress can re-subpoena her and get the answers to some of these questions, but I don't think they're going to ask anything. I think that that ship has sailed, because the truth is Congress doesn't really want to know either, because at the end of the day, it's probably implicate a lot of them. You know, if we're being completely honest, they're all kind of in there to one degree or another. So, all right, here we go. So Pam Bondi is out. And again, I said to you guys before, Kash Patel's next. I think he's probably out here pretty soon. Howard Lutnick, I thought was going to be gone before Pam Bondi, but I think he's getting close. As more of this Epstein, as we circle back to the Epstein files, I think Howard Lutnick is gone. Again, every time they show pictures of Donald Trump with Howard Lutnick, I mean, you always see the comments, oh my God, look, it's the Epstein administration. You show Pam Bondi, Howard Lutnick, and Donald Trump together. Oh, look at the Epstein administration. Like, Trump is never going to get rid of this fucking thing if he doesn't do something about it, you know? So maybe they'll circle back around to this thing and they'll work on it. But the guy that they used to replace Pam Bondi is this guy, Todd Blanche. And again, this fuckhead, he's literally, they're asking him questions about Epstein, and he's just like, when they're like, hey, are you guys going to release any information or go after any of these guys that are raping these little girls? You know, and he's just like, well, you're implying that there's men that have raped little girls. I haven't seen any evidence of that. The guy is so obtuse, and he'll get up there and he'll say things like, well, you know, like, I just think it's offensive that, you know, you wouldn't think that we would go after men that were raping little girls if we had that information. It's like fuck me, man. Like, we've all pieced this whole thing together, and you're acting like everyone's dumb. Like, that we don't have the, you know, the minimal amount of documents that you have released. You know, the names of, you know, Tom Pritzker, right? The head of Hyatt, right? The Jean Pierre. God damn, Jean Pierre, I think is his name, died in prison. The photographer guy. Again, that guy's gone. We got the guy from Apollo. Like, again, I forget that guy's name. Like, he's gone. Like, we just have so many people that are in these files. You know, again, Donald Trump is in this orbit of fashion and of modeling, which is where Les Wexner made his money in Victoria's Secret. Again, all these people are in here. Tons of people have been convicted of raping little girls, have been convicted of trafficking little girls, right? Again, of course, with Jeffrey Epstein. And again, this guy's acting like they have none of this information. Every time they go in and they look at the unredacted names, we always get another little trickle of, oh my God, well, this person was a co-conspirator. I thought you said that there was no one that was a co-conspirator. Kash Patel, you know? And it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, this guy's caught. He's cooked. And they're acting like this is going to be the new attorney general or the interim attorney general. Like, get the fuck out of here. This guy's going to be toast. He's not going to last very long. They'll bring in someone else, but he's the guy for now, you know. So anyway, look up Todd Blanche talking about Jeffrey Epstein. It's hilarious. And again, the fact that Trump is putting this guy up there is just, it's very telling. Like, Trump doesn't take this seriously. So anyway, we'll see what happens with this guy. So all right, so Donald Trump gets rid of Pam Bondi. Donald Trump honestly is pretty pissed that this Pam Bondi has not gone after his enemies. And I don't know that she was supposed to, but this is one of the things that Donald Trump's saying. So what are some of the things that happened to Donald Trump, right? Why would Trump be so pissed off about Pam Bondi not going after his enemies? Who are the people that Donald Trump is talking about when he says his enemies, right? Who are the people that Donald Trump is wildly frustrated with that Pam Bondi hasn't gone after? Let's go over some of these things. So some of the things that you guys have to remember about Donald Trump is that this guy has been attacked and he's literally been gone after by the Democrat Party ever since he started running for president, right? And whether that's the Clintons, whether that's the FBI, right? Whether that's the Department of Justice with Merrick Garland, these guys went after this guy like I've never seen before. And that's why when I say now, it seems like the Democrats are pretty quiet about this whole war thing. They're pretty quiet about the whole Israel side of the equation. You know, they don't seem to have much to say right now. And, you know, and you'll get some people that come in and say, oh, they don't have any power. They didn't have a whole lot of power back then, but they sure had no problem going after this guy. They were very vocal about it. They had no problem shutting down your guys' TSA. They got a lot of when it comes to illegal immigrants, they seem to have a lot of power in stopping the illegal immigration thing, you know. So anyway, we'll, the deportation thing. So let's dig into this, okay? One of the big things that Donald Trump's pissed about is this whole Crossfire Hurricane thing, right? So this is the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane, a counterintelligence investigation. This was going on in 2016. And again, Trump's pretty pissed about this. You guys remember the Steele report, the Steele dossier? Again, this was all bullshit. Hillary Clinton used it against him, right, to smear him. And again, no one went to jail for this. No one ever looked into, well, how the fuck did you get this information, okay? Did you commit perjury, right? Was this a credible source? Did you guys just look the other way so that you could smear a sitting president? Doesn't seem to be like anyone had any interest there, right? Did Obama administration look into this guy? Was Obama spying on President Trump? Like, all this shit came out. It doesn't seem like anyone went after this guy. Went after anyone that was in this investigation. So I'm sure Donald Trump is pissed about that. And again, as a 3-time Trump supporter, I was fucking pissed about this. I got tired of listening to people, fucking Rachel Maddow, that fucking, I shouldn't use the D word, but I want to. Anyway, just going on there constantly talking about how Trump's over there getting peed on by Russian hookers. And again, we're just like, what the fuck is going on? None of this shit makes sense. This woman hasn't gone after any of that stuff. Again, no one in government ever gets prosecuted for anything. You guys ever notice that? It's like one administration comes in, they never prosecute the prior administration. Like, why is that, right? Because then they wouldn't be able to do the bullshit that they want to do, right? Then they wouldn't be able to get that sweet, sweet taxpayer money, that sweet, sweet NGO money, that sweet, sweet lobbying money, which is really all politicians care about. So they never prosecute the previous administration. So this racket can continue to go on, right? Anyway, so they didn't prosecute any of that, right? So the ongoing expansion of the Russia-related probes, and FBI investigated. Persisted in 2017, Trump fired FBI Director James Comey in 2017, citing the Russia thing in statements about raised obstruction of justice questions, right? The appointment of special counsel Robert Mueller, you guys remember this thing? Mueller released that report going after Trump. They didn't do anything with that. Congressional investigations, right? A lot of hearings in Congress were going on at the House Judiciary Committee. They were just, fucking Trump was up there every day about stuff, right? They impeached the guy twice, so you guys remember that? Trump was impeached twice. Emoluments clause lawsuits, all this shit that happened to Donald Trump. We got the Mueller probe continuation into 2019, right? Started in 2017, it went on for years, guys. The first impeachment, 2019. They impeached him for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, right? Late presidential transition. Second impeachment happened in 2021, right? You guys remember J6. They went after him after that. FISA and surveillance that they were doing on this guy. They went after him for all this shit. Department of Justice Inspector General and other reviews, right? Looking into more Russia probes, right? They just went after this guy just like fucking time and time and time and time again. No one wants to go after these people, right? No one in Trump's administration wants to go after these people. Why is that? Why is it that everyone in government's always protected? We voted for Trump to go after these people. Like, these are the deep state, right? These are the lobbyists. You know, this is the corrupt FBI, the corrupt CIA, corrupt previous administrations. Nobody wants to go after these people. So, Trump shit-cander, you know, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if Trump puts in there someone who's going to go after this stuff. Other things that happen, right? You guys remember the whole Letitia James? Remember that thing? Again, he was supposed to go after Letitia James. Nothing happened there. And you can say, well, there was nothing there. And maybe there was. But again, try. You know, there's all kinds of stuff they went after this guy for. And it just doesn't seem like Pam Bondi was interested. Doesn't seem like the Department of Justice was interested. Doesn't seem like the FBI is interested. Doesn't seem like the CIA is interested. No one's interested. You know, so again, this is some of the things we voted for. James Comey is one of these people that Pam Bondi was supposed to go after. Never went after him, right? Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff got censured by Congress. Again, wild fabrications about this Russia collusion thing, right? The Steele dossier. No one's going after this guy. I fucking detest that guy. And again, thanks, California. You only bring the best people. You only do the best things, California. Adam Schiff, complete piece of shit. No one's going after that guy. John Brennan. No one's going after that guy. And again, all this stuff is linked to this whole Russian collusion. It was all bullshit, guys. All fabricated garbage. You know, it's just wildly frustrating. You guys remember the J6 committee? There was a lot of speculation around that whole thing was a complete hoax. Talking about the whole J6 thing, they literally were waiting for this thing to happen, and they basically blackmailed Donald Trump over this thing, you know? And again, it seems like that's what happened to me. If you guys look at what Nancy Pelosi basically didn't want any of the National Guard there, you know, when they knew there was going to be this massive fucking problem, it was her job to make sure they were there. Trump was going to send those people in. She wanted nothing to do with it. Again, go follow the guy that was the chief of police there in D.C., right? He said that, no, he had stand-down orders. Like, he wasn't supposed to go help with any of that shit, you know? It's like, it's wild conspiracy over that thing. But again, Department of Justice isn't going after any of these people. They're not even asking any questions, you know, and I thought that's what we elected Trump to do, you know, but none of that's happening, you know, so maybe it's all bullshit. Maybe Trump doesn't want to know anything. He's just throwing Pam Bondi under the bus, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like this chick just doesn't want to do anything. You guys remember remember all those fucking goofballs on X, all the influencers getting those binders? Like, Where every time they would ask Bondi, like, hey, where are these Epstein files? Because again, this is like one of the most important things to the average Trump voter. They'd ask him about her all the time. She'd, oh, they're on my office. They're on my desk. I'm going through them. Have you seen anything that was really bad? She's like, oh yeah, it was horrible. And she just was like building it up and building it up, building it up. And then when it came time to drop those files, nothing. Major redactions. I mean, it's just like, what a fucking disappointment. You know, so anyway, Pam Bondi's toast. She's gone. Kash Patel's next, guys. Kash Patel, give him a week or two. I think he's gone as well. She's wildly frustrated, or excuse me, Trump's wildly frustrated with the lack of enforcement on anything, you know, and maybe it's because the Iran war is going so bad. Maybe it's because America's turning against Donald Trump. Maybe it's because America thinks that America's turning into a little bit of a bully, and Donald Trump is the head of that bully state. Maybe Americans are getting tired of paying high prices for everything. Maybe America is getting tired of fucking with the rest of the world, and Americans aren't seeing the benefit. You know, maybe America's just getting tired of Donald Trump. You know, but I don't know. He's trying to do something. You know, he's moving people around, and we'll kind of see what's going to happen. You know, it's getting kind of crazy. So anyway, let's say hi to everyone. Let's go through our comments, and then we'll see what we get in the comments, and maybe we'll get out of here early today, which is almost never happens. So okay, let's see where we're at here. J-Rock, okay, that's where I ended. Son, inflation is poison. Yep, we ended with you. So if you guys in the stream, hit the like button, add the discussion. We talk about politics once a day, and we talk about it from a normie's point of view. We talk about someone who never graduated high school, never went to college, found a way to get really good at making furniture, and now has a small business with 9 employees, and we do about 500 pieces of furniture a year, all made right here in America in St. Louis. Okay, I also have 2 manufacturing businesses in India that we make brass hardware with, so I know about importing and exporting and about working in the third world. So again, I don't have a degree in economics. I don't have an MBA, but I figured it out, and guess what? You guys can too. So this is the point of view that you get. You get a point of view from someone who hasn't been in academia and just busted his ass really hard, which is actually how it's supposed to be, you know? So here we go. Titan Brew says, Bondi already was a representative lobbyist for Qatar. Yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that, dude. You're right. I see her doing the same, but now she has cabinet level experience. A lot more countries will be seeking her advice and favor. Yeah, again, you're probably right, dude. Again, I think she's going to end up on Fox News. It seems like a lot of these hot chicks, that's where the money's at. You know, and I could be wrong, you know, but that's what I see. So we'll see what happens, Titan. But I appreciate your comment, dude. All right, so yeah, they don't want her to talk and prove what we already know. Yeah, I don't think so, son. Titan, she works for the pedophiles. Qatar's non-issue in the U.S. Epstein has worked for Israel and Mossad. Yeah, the other thing, guys, that we didn't talk about with her is apparently they threw something out there like Donald Trump shit canned her because she let Eric Swalwell, again, thanks California, fucking, yeah, like California, why do you guys produce such fucking pieces of shit? Why do you guys send such fucking douchebags to Congress? Like, Jesus Christ. He floated the idea that, you know, Pam Bondi gave Eric Swalwell a little bit of information about the Department of Justice looking into him banging that fucking foreign spy from China, Fang, you know. I don't know if I believe any of that shit. But, yeah, it's like, I don't know, guys. Like, it's just, one of the shitty things about this administration is, like, they are so duplicitous. Like, they'll tell you one thing straight to your face while doing something else right behind your back. Like, the duplicity of this government is just wild. Like, just wild, you know? And you get Pam Bondi coming out there, oh, this is the most transparent government ever. Like, don't ask me about Epstein. Look at the fucking Dow at 50,000, right? Go look at, the S&P 500. You know, go look at the people's 401ks. I don't want to talk about Epstein. Let's talk about the 401ks. It's like what a fucking disgrace and an embarrassment. He should have shit-canned her right then and there. But you could tell she was literally, you know, talking just like Donald Trump, except she has tits. Like, she literally sounded just like Donald Trump if he were asked questions about Epstein. It was like, holy hell, man. Okay, Titan says, I was responding on where Bondi may end up a relationship with protecting pedos. We'll follow her until some actionable evidence is produced and charge those. Yeah, man, I hope so, Titan. I don't know what's going on with this chick, you know, but clearly she's gonna have some use, and like I said, most of them land on their feet, you know, in front of Fox News. You know, there's nothing more than boomers love than a hot chick, you know, doing weather or giving them news advice. And again, you can go to foxbabes.com. I think the website still exists. Like, it's a thing. The news has the formula down. You know, if you're a Republican boomer, you want to see hot chicks with blonde hair, painted nails, and high heels. If you're a boomer Democrat, you want to see, you know, chicks with nose rings, gray hair, and you know they need to all be lesbians, the ugliest women possible. You know, and gay dudes, they love the gay dudes too. They don't want to see any hot men, no hot women. It's you pick your poison, you know. So it's very transparent what they all do. All right, Racker Stash, Edits Gaming. Yep, we have so much dirt on everyone now. We should have had a lot more dirt, guys. And again, I think with the Epstein files, again, transparency is coming. It's just a matter of time, guys. The redactions on all those names will come out. You can't tell me that there's 3 million pages of just victims, methods and sources, and investigations. I don't believe it for a second. I don't buy it for one bit, you know. So we're going to get more information. It's probably going to take another 10 years probably, but we will get it. It will come out at some point. All right, if your country is functioning, there are people who want to help by importing straight randoms to poison the country and cause problems so they can plunder a distracted nation. Yeah, and again, we all got to get together, man. We all got to get on the same page. And again, that's why I advocate for helping the next generation. I think it's the only thing we can all agree upon. Like, you got to help the next generation. We got to make life more affordable for them and get them excited about the American dream, right? When I bought my first home, my first home in my first 20s, that was awesome, right? When I saw that working overtime and getting really good at furniture led to being able to you know, grow my skills and work on R&D, right? To be able to go work at the Boeing Defense Center, to go to work on, you know, whatever, Michael Jordan's airplane, to go work on, you know, Larry Bird's plane, you know, to go work on the Denver Broncos plane, to get to go work on whatever, Ken Griffin's plane. This kind of progress, working your skills up, right? Growing your income, buying homes, buying nicer cars. You know, maybe you get to, you know, date hotter chicks, take chicks out dinner. You get to pay for things. You know, you get to invest in your retirement. Maybe you decide to marry when you get to have some kids. We have to show people that this incremental progress as you get older, that hard work pays off, is a good thing. Our country's done. You know, I think maybe we can all get behind that. You know, maybe we can get behind the idea that, you know, if you're a business owner, your fucking job is to hire the young people and to teach them some shit and show them that hard work does pay off, that you're not just a number, that you're part of a family, right? And this people that make fun of business owners and say this kind of shit, like, go fuck yourselves. You know, I'm tired of hearing that. We do treat our people like family. We do want them to live better lives. We do want them to buy homes, buy cars, have kids, have families, go on vacations. We do want to treat our employees good, you know? So, and again, this goes with the helping the youth out. And if all we do is say, well, go to college, go get a degree, go get your second degree, go get your third degree, continue in education, get into debt. And then we tell the businesses, hey, you don't have to hire people. You can have your pick of the litter of the best graduates. Meanwhile, everyone else is like, hey, man, I graduated too. I did the thing you told me to do. You know, like, we gotta fix this country, guys. And you know, son, I hear what you're saying, dude. Everyone can talk about what distracts us, and everyone can point out the problems, you know, but we got to find solutions, man. And I got some solutions. This is what I talk about on this cast. I think I have the solutions, you know, but we got to get everyone on. We got to get everyone on page. And if all you guys are doing is worrying about your next fucking paycheck and worrying about how you're gonna get yours, that's what our country's gonna be. You know, it's gonna be a bunch of selfish fucking people, you know. And again, sorry, boomers. Like, if you want the country to focus on making sure that you guys have, you know, casino money and as much health care as you can possibly want, and as much retirement as you guys can possibly want, because you were promised it, we're in deep shit, you know. And again, I'm sorry, I hate to be the bad guy here, but that's kind of how I see it, you know. So anyway, I appreciate your comments, son. All right, I imported deliberately so they would act like their default nature. Son, man, you love the conspiracy and you love the tumor stuff. Tell us something good, son. All right, J-Rock the Ride. They want those campaign donations. Boy, do they ever. All right, so I can't pronounce your name. Scanate for life. Okay, too hard to understand complex things to make up shortcuts. Yeah, and again, the more I do these casts, guys, the more I do these streams, and I'm not the best guy at explaining things. I'm an idiot. But it just seems to me like people can only focus on one or two things. It's very hard for people to put all the dots together to see what the mosaic or the picture actually looks like. It seems like it's very difficult for people. And it's too bad, you know. But again, we got to keep moving the nation forward, guys. We got to keep, again, getting people excited about being an American, getting people excited about coming to America, getting people excited about hard work, getting people excited about consumerism, getting people excited about starting businesses, right? Getting better at what they do, having kids. Like, we got to get people excited about this thing, because I'm here to tell you guys, there's nothing worse than not having ambition. There's fucking nothing worse. You know, mediocrity is a poison. right? And again, you tell, oh, no, that's good enough. Don't worry about it. You're doing fine. Again, I don't think that's good, man. We got to help people to be great. We got to show them how to be great. We got to tell them, hey, this ain't good enough. You can do better. Here, do it this way. Do it my way. I got the answer. Okay, and then they can go up and they can figure it out for themselves. Once they've done it your way, maybe they got a better way. Again, maybe they learn their skills. They make some more money. They start getting excited about, being able to take a guy out, take a girl out, go on vacation. They see that working hard and doing things leads to a better life for them, for their family, for their kids, for their dog, whatever they might be. Like, we got to do it, guys, and I don't know that we're doing that now, so we'll see what happens. All right, much easier to confirm biases. Yeah, you're 100% right there. Great comment. I appreciate that one. That's 100% true. Everyone wants to confirm their biases. No one wants to be told anything different than other than what they want to believe. Very difficult to get people to change their mind. Very difficult to get people to look, take in new information and change their frame of reference, right? Change how they look at things. Very difficult. All right, Robert Rosenberg. Robert Rosenberg, man. 1209. Here, let's see. They're not going after them because there's no evidence, you clown. You are stupid. Okay, well, again, I think the evidence is pretty clear that there is a massive conspiracy here. But again, whatever, dude. I appreciate your Robert. And again, tell me. You say that there's no evidence. Okay, again, I think we got 3.5 million pages. Again, if you just guys want to use Occam's razor, again, so this is Robert Rosenberg. Okay, if there's no Epstein, right? There's no conspiracy. There's no massive blackmail honeypot, right? Why are there so many documents? Why did they follow Jeffrey Epstein since the 80s? Why? It seems kind of odd to me. I mean, why would they follow one guy, who's a pedophile, right? When there's millions of pedophiles in this country, by the way. They're everywhere. Like, why would they follow this one guy? Again, there's more information on him than there is on JFK, on Martin Luther King, on the whole J6 situation, right? There's more information on him than the World War II. Why is there so much information on this guy if he was so irrelevant and just a big joke? Like, guys, literally get on Grok and just Google or Grok, whatever you want to do, the amount of documents that the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA have on all these different figures over the last 50 years. Why this one guy? It seems kind of odd, that basically would be the equivalent of them having millions and millions of documents, gigabytes of data on Eric Wilkin. Like, why would you have all that information? Why would the FBI be following me for 40 years? So I was just laughing when people say, oh, there's no evidence, there's no nothing. Okay, well, I'm a simple man. I can only look at simple information. So do with that information what you will, Robert Rosenberg. I appreciate your comment. And again, I'm open to be changed, but you can't tell me that our government spent this many resources for this long to follow this one guy and his I forget what they call her, the Ghislaine Maxwell, I think is her name, whatever they call her. You can't tell me that that's the case. So do with that information what you will. All right, Eden Star, this Eden Star 5740. Have we forgotten who brought in the people? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean, who brought in the people? Who are the people? Are you talking about black people? You talking about Jewish people? You talking about women? You talking about men? You talking about, what are you talking about? Those people. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying there. All right, since J6 was a psyop to make an example out of people who are doing what should have been done in earnest, and second, the Federal Reserve idea was floated. Yeah, so I don't know. There's something to that J6 thing. So when you look at all the information from the people that were in the know at the time, it sure seems like there was something there. My guess is that our government constantly just waits for specific things to happen, and they have an action plan, and then they execute that action plan. Whether it's a war, whether it's things happen in other countries, right? They can give America or the Department of Justice, the FBI, CIA, these blackmail operations, Mossad, MI6. They're just waiting for certain things to happen, and then they have a plan for them. They just game this stuff out, and that's all they do. And J6 is probably just another one of those things, so I don't know if it was, I don't think that the government is intelligent enough to just get assets over there right away. I think they have a plan for this kind of stuff, and I think that's how it works, so. All right, Rocky Nitro 5470, get over this Epstein. Okay, got it. See, I'll never let the Epstein thing go, guys. Sorry, it's just never going to happen. Until all the files are released, and again, I want the one from the CIA also. Until they're all released, the conspiracies are going to continue to grow, and this is the problem with conspiracy, guys. And again, you can't tell me that the federal government followed this guy for 40 years and he meant nothing, okay? Because again, it just doesn't pass the smell test. I mean, again, dumb guy never finished high school. I can say, well, why do you got more information on Jeffrey Epstein than JFK? JFK was kind of a big deal, the assassination of a president, and you guys don't, I mean, you got more information on Jeffrey Epstein. It's kind of weird, right? But whatever. This is a problem with conspiracy. All right, let's see. Sun says they had 24/7 FBI plainclothes people there, enough to make a crowd, move a crowd. Then there were 2 pipe bombs, right? They looked at the bombs and stopped looking after they found this. Yeah, I know the whole pipe bomb thing. And again, Kash Patel said that they were looking at that thing. You guys ever see anything? That investigation went nowhere, even though they talked about it. There were, I forget that guy's name. There were a ton of people there that were plainclothes officers. When they asked the head of the FBI if they had officers there, and I forget that guy's name, he literally said that he wouldn't comment on it. He didn't say no. He just didn't say they wouldn't comment, which is essentially an admission that there were plainclothes officers there, and that's fine. But yeah, it's there's something there. So I don't know what to do with that whole situation. All right, Marguerite Cook. Is it Marguerite Cook 3312? Says, "Hi Marguerite, good to see you. Slina Girl, I watched Swalwell on video say the assassin of Ashley Babbitt was a hero." Yeah, that guy's a fucking piece of shit, man. And if I remember, wasn't Ashley Babbitt like an off-duty police officer? Yeah, anyone that died there, like that's just a whole sad situation. The whole thing that happened there. And again, you get one side talking shit on the other side. It's just wasn't a good scenario, And again, those guys are, I mean, all those J6ers, we all thought that the election was stolen, right? And there's a lot of data to support that it was. And whether it was or whether it wasn't, you had a lot of people there that were really pissed off about something. Again, we love protests in this country. And again, there were a ton of people. Ray Epps, that was the guy's name. Sorry, son, I just remembered. There were a lot of people that ushered people into the Capitol that day. And again, maybe those guys shouldn't have been there. I have no idea. But when you're watching people just showing these guys around, I didn't see the force there to push them back. I didn't see any attempt to get those guys out of there. They were just letting them walk all over the place, which again, I don't give a shit. That's a people's property, if you ask me. I mean, if anyone's allowed to be there, it's the people. But it turned into what it was. And again, all those people got thrown in jail and Trump let them out, So the shitty thing about Trump is that Trump could have got those people out of jail before he left office the first time, but he didn't. He let them fucking rot. Which I don't know if that's a good thing. If you guys want to follow someone who was one of those J6ers and has a lot of good information about that day, follow Owen Schroyer. Google that guy. He's got a YouTube channel and he's big on, I think he's big on X. But again, if you want to know someone was actually there that, has a voice, that's a guy to listen to. So, all right, let's see. It's SK8N4 Life. We can't get on the same page. We can't go on the same page because we let people like you vote. Well, that's cool, man. Your vote, you cancel out my vote. So good for you. All right, thanks for the comment, though. Racker Trash Edits Gaming. No, I believe he's on the right track. A little behind on how devastating Trump's situation is, but he's on the right track. All right, cool. Well, I'm assuming you're going to talk about me. So, all right, Timer says, our Constitution allows for people to vote. We have zero say in the matter when it comes to an individual's ideology and voting preferences. Yeah, Titan, I think you're 100% right. Laughing out, no evidence, a wild take. I know. John Mason says, hi, John Mason, glad you're here, dude. Thanks for being here. Ocean's Razor is so right. Excuse me, Occam's Razor is so right. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, at some point, you got to be able to take yes for an answer. You got so many people that are just like, no, I can't believe it. They need a smoking gun, right? They need to see that, Donald Trump, had the dildo in his hand at Epstein's Island, with the cameras all over the place. It's like, I don't, or the butt plug, I don't know what, I don't know what people want, oh my God, there's Tom's Pritzker, in the bed with the two chicks, backwards on the bed, and like clearly there they are holding their grade school, identification card stating that this one was 9 and this one was 6. You're not going to get that, guys. I'm sorry. You don't need that information to know that this was clearly something bigger than it was, and just go back and look at all the old papers on some of the shit that we've done as a government. I mean, go back and read about Operation Paperclip. A lot of these crazy things that we were doing, they don't come out till decades later. And then when you go back and research what they did when those papers finally come out, it's stunning what we've done as a government, what our FBI does, what our CIA does. I mean, fucking crazy, guys. Some of the crazy operations that we ran in this country, like in the experiments that we've run on people. I mean, it's It's just wild, guys. I mean, our government was literally giving people drugs, right? So, and I forget the name of the operation. Son, you'll probably know what it was. But what they were doing is they were literally giving people drugs, right? And they were basically watching them go back and have sex with people after they gave them drugs, right? They were giving prostitutes drugs. They take the Johns back place, and they were literally watching these guys have sex, and they were trying to figure out the effects of drugs on people. We do all the weirdest stuff, guys, and I don't remember all the experiments that we've done on people. It's just a fucking, it's so crazy. Let's see. General Flynn needs to replace Kash Patel. Wow, that'd be kind of interesting, right? All right, Tight Brew. Flynn is at the end times religious hack. Flynn is an end times religious hack. He's the last person that should be put in charge of anything, at least to lest he apply his end of the world ideology on the rest of the country. Yeah, and again, I'm not into these religious zealot type people. Again, I'm all about religion. I think religion is a great thing, but when people apply it to government, doesn't end up working out very well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, you guys see the interview Tucker did with that Mike Huckabee guy? I mean, again, that guy is in our government. He's a representative for America in the state of Israel. The guy's a fucking wacko. I mean, Ted Cruz, wacko. Listen to that Randy Fine guy over there in Florida, wacko. Lindsey Graham, wacko. I mean, we've got a lot of wacko religious zealot type people in our government. I mean, they are insane. Insane. But whatever, man. Okay, let's see. Brain Butter 3120 says, no, there wasn't. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Scott says, res, term limits in Congress. Again, guys, if you're going to put your comments in there, give us something we can work with. Like, if you just make a comment, we don't really know how to react to it, right? Other people, it's hard to engage with you if you just put a comment in there. Put in a real comment. Like, if I'm wrong on something, you don't like what I'm saying, let me know where I'm wrong. Let me know what's right. Put your opinion in there and make sure we understand where you're coming from, okay? High quality comments. And I know, son, I need to put it on the very first thing I do when I start this cast. All right, Wrecker Stash Edits Gaming. They only showed them around because the other side was being broken into. All right, not sure what you're saying there, man. Maybe you're talking about J6. Okay, yeah, yet they were making an example out of them. Yep, probably. All right, son says some people have to have it happen to their own kids before they care. Yeah, again, it's very different when something happens to you, right? Operation Midnight Climax. Okay, well, there you go. Son, I knew you'd know some of these things. All right, Daniel Matthews, TJ6PW. Your thought on immigration, brother. Your thought on Iran, bro. Do you think drone warfare should be illegal in war? Okay, so the whole immigration thing. I think everyone knows my stance on immigration at this point, right? Daniel Mathis, I don't know if you've ever been in here. Give this thing, give this cast 5 watches, right? And if we do an hour most mornings and 2 hours usually. Do we do usually 2 hours in the morning? We start about 6 a.m. and then I go off to work. But the whole immigration thing is a major problem in this country, right? And the only reason we needed so many immigrants was because we tried to send everyone to college, right? Why did we try to send everyone to college? We tried to send everyone to college because we outsourced all the work to the third world. We wanted to use that cheap labor to create marketing experts, right? To create branding experts, to create corporate strategy experts, to create DEI fucking coordinators, to create health and safety coordinators, to create, planners, to create more engineers, to create, I mean, again, just work your way through the list of jobs, to HR specialists, right? We wanted to create this, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, right? We considered that to be progress, but the problem is that we let too many people go to college on the backs of Americans, right? On debt. Right, and again, we just, at that point in time, 94, 2001, in between there, again, if you look specifically at 1998, this is where you started to see the money printer get turned on, right? And that's because we weren't building anything. The country actually slowed down from a getting shit done standpoint when we started to send everyone to college, right? Then you fast forward to 2008, the financial crisis, and again, if you look at the monetary money supply, the M2 money supply, what you find out is that we then escalated sending everyone to college. Like, it went on steroids, the amount of money and people we were sending to college, because during the great financial crisis, a lot of people out of work. Well, what do people do when they're out of work? You go where the money's at. The money is at going to college, right? So the federal government would back all the loans, would let you go to college, pay for room, board, whatever you want, a Netflix subscription. You could get your school money to pay for all that kind of stuff. So we accelerated this academic blue collar thing. Meanwhile, we're building less buildings. We're building less houses. We're building We're building less important things like, like what we're doing with this Artemis 2 project. We're working less on going to NASA, or excuse me, going to the moon. We're working less on, interplanetary travel. We're working less on, creating webs of satellites around the world. We're doing less of everything that we're now doing today. Thank you, God. Thank God we got Elon Musk. But anyway, so as we're doing this, right, we're spending all this money. We're printing. The value of everyone's dollars is shrinking. Everyone's in the middle class is able to buy less, right? And you fast forward, everyone's going to college, right? We're outsourcing all the work. We're bringing the third world in here. We're printing tons of money to do all this shit, right? So that everyone actually gets a job in America as a white-collar worker, buys less, right? The cost of homes goes up. The cost of food goes up. The cost of cars goes up. The cost of college goes up. The cost of healthcare. Everything is going up as this is happening, right? This is my big grand conspiracy. And the truth is they sold you guys this idea that working with your hands was bad. This idea of working a blue-collar job was going to lead to a life of poverty, right? You're going to live in a fucking apartment and you're going to eat the bugs, right? You're going to be this lesser class of people. They did this for 15, 20 years, and now what we have today is we got 2 generations of people. They can't afford to live. The college educations that they got aren't worth the fucking paper that they're printed on. They can't make enough money to pay off their loans. They can't make enough money to buy homes, to start the American dream that people like I had starting in the early 2000s, right? We had all this shit in our early 20s. We're popping out kids in our early 20s. We're starting life in the early 20s, and now everyone lives in an apartment. No one can afford rent. No one can afford to own a home. People aren't having kids until they're in their 30s and even in their 40s. So again, people are waiting a long time to start the American dream, and it's not the collapse, but it's the major slowdown in what America used to be, in large part because of academia, and then convincing the average American that letting third worlders in here was going to be good, that outsourcing the work to the third world was going to be good. So my stance on immigration is you need to get rid of it, all of it. And maybe you start out with China, and then maybe you move on to the Hispanic population, and again, I don't have the perfect answer, but I know the first thing you do is you start raising tariffs and you start cutting off all these third world countries. That's how I see it. So dude, I know it's a very long answer, man. And again, I'm trying to, this is literally what I do on this channel. This is my passion, is talking about small business, helping the American worker, helping the young, aspiring American worker more than anything. This is what I talk about all the time, and you can't do it when you outsource all the work to the third world, bring the third world in here to do all the work, and then only pick the best of the best as far as the workers go. Only pick the best of the best as far as the college graduates go. And you basically leave everyone out on the lam. It's really bad. So this is the thing I talk about. So Daniel Lewis, I appreciate you being here, man. Again, Daniel, if you don't know, I own a furniture company. I got 9 employees. We do about 500 pieces a year. We make all of it right here in St. Louis, Missouri. So that's where I'm coming from. All right, your thoughts on Iran. Again, I've talked about Iran. I'm not going to talk about Iran. I think everyone knows what my opinions are on there. Do you think drone warfare should be legal in the war? Yeah, there's no rules in war. Again, this is why all you fucking bleeding heart pussies that come into this cast that whine about, war crimes. There's no fucking rules in war, dude. So again, if you want to go to war, you go to war. This means you punch people in the balls, you bite, you do everything. Anything you can't do, you slap people in the ears, you do whatever you got to do to win. That's all that matters. You fucking punch people in the Adam's apple, that's what you do. There are no rules. You want to use cluster munitions? Great. You want to cut people's heads off? Great. You want to use men against women and women against men? You do it all. This is what war is. War is awful. And again, I think as Americans, we've become numb to what war really means. And again, we've been numb to the idea that we can just go over in the Middle East and we can just go fucking nation build, and we can spend 10, 20, 30 fucking years over there spending tons of money, and print it all, by the way. All the money that we spent over in the Middle East is printed, right? When a nation goes to war, you go over there, you fuck shit up, you make those people regret ever doing anything to you, and then you come home. This is what World War II is. You then reap all the benefits. The problem is we don't reap any benefits anymore. None. We go to war, there's no benefit. You want to get behind you want people to get behind a war effort, you want to get the nation galvanized to go do something? Drop a bomb here in America. Guess what? It's terrible. But then what happens? The nation galvanizes, we go fuck shit up, we make sure that history forgets that country ever existed, they're gone, and then we take all their shit. We bring all that shit back here to America. Or we make that country America 2.0. We expand our empire. But there's repercussions for fucking with America. And again, we've forgotten all about that. America hasn't fought a real war since World War II. America hasn't acted like America since World War II. Again, you guys have you've been deluded into thinking that, oh my God, America's so great that when we go over to war, none of us actually have to go to war. It's just the poor guy from Appalachia. It's just the poor guy from Corvallis, Oregon. It's just the dumb white guy that doesn't have anything else, no other prospects, because you sent all his fucking jobs to the third world. Well, he brought the third world in here to do the work that he used to do to make a living. Well, I guess I'll sign up for the military. And then all the fucking college graduates, they're not going to get drafted. They're not going to go to the military because, again, their parents are like, oh, my fucking kids aren't going to do that. You know, fucking only dumb white guys go to the military. Only poor black people go into the military. And this is the country we've created. You know, so again, when it comes to war, like, again, you want to go to war, you got to really go to war, and we don't want to do it. You know, so what was it? Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn had a viral thing yesterday talking about how these fucking rich people their fucking kids need to go to war. You know, and it's the truth. You know, fucking Donald Trump wants to go to war. Guess what? We'll all go when Barron signs up. You know, all these fucking influencers that love war, these fucking Fox News douchebags, fucking Sean Hannity. Again, when his fucking son signs up for the military, he can go talk about the military. He can go talk about going to war. And fucking Lindsey Graham says, oh my God, I'm going to go fucking Israel. Oh, you wants to blow his fucking load. Okay, well, good. When your kids sign up to go to the military, we'll go there. Oh, wait, you don't have any kids, you fucking homo. You don't have any fucking, it doesn't matter when you go to war. You have no skin in the game. Most people today have no skin in the game because, again, they rely on the poor white guy and the poor black guy to go do it. It's fucking sad reality of war. You know, it is what it is, you know? So anyway, Daniel Matthews, I hope you got a lot of my time there, man. I love what you're saying, and there you go. Now you know my feelings. You're probably the first one. You're probably the first time in here. Again, hit the subscribe button. Now discussion, you guys. Hit the likes. We got 25 people in here. Again, don't have a ton of likes on this one. This apparently is a super popular topic, but I'll give you guys to at least an hour 10, and I will work my way through the rest of the comments, and we'll probably call this one a day. So put your comments in here, guys. Let's go. All right, Titan Brew says, it's sad that so many people apply religious beliefs that are related to the end of the world and literally seek to implement those beliefs in reality. Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. But a lot of people out there like that kind of stuff. You know, a lot of people believe in that kind of stuff, and they want to vote people in that believe the same thing that they do, and it's too bad. You know, it's really too bad. But, man, I like what you're saying there, bud. The worst part is that even real Christianity and Christianity Israel means Christianity, the requirement of being part of the Israel as God is believing in Jesus. They just stole a word. Yeah, man, I don't know about that, son. I don't follow all that shit. Arguably one of the top most holy words in the entire Bible as well. Okay. All right. Robert Rosenberg, see what you're saying. We've got to be the most, you've got to be the most unintelligible person I've ever seen on YouTube, and that's saying a lot. Okay, well, Robert, again, tell me what I'm wrong about. Again, I appreciate it, man. I wear it as a badge of honor. Like, I'm not that fucking bright, okay? I'm just a hardworking dude. That's all I got, man. So, thanks for the comment, though. All right, John O 1544. You use chemical weapons. Yeah, if you got to win a war, yeah, use chemical weapons. Like, we gave Saddam Hussein chemical weapons. You know, when Iraq went and fought Iran. Again, no one wants to talk about it, but that's the truth of it. You know, but yeah, use chemical weapons. Use fucking nukes. Use whatever you got. It's a war. It's serious. It's not like fucking Tuesday. You just send your nation to war. Oh, we're gonna go fight this country because you know what? I need some political points back home. Like, we're serious. You know, unless everyone's involved, no one should be involved. And again, when your government can literally when your president can send your country to war without going through Congress, right? Which Congress is the people. Our system doesn't work that way, but that's what we're doing, you know, and it's wildly frustrating, you know. So, all right, but yeah, I'm all for chemical weapons. Great, if that's what you want to use, go for it. Sausage Flob, just show them the sun. Look how well behaved in Japan has been since we showed that. Yeah, and you know, it's you got a great point, man. Again, Japan's doing great. Second largest economy in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Again, been a great ally for forever. Yeah, maybe that's what's got to happen. You know, maybe America's just got to nuke more people, and then we'll end up with a whole bunch of friends. You know, I don't think that's how it would actually work, but your logic is not flawed. But man, there you go. Again, I like people to put comments in there like that. Again, I don't know if that's super palatable, right? Probably getting a lot of sponsors that want to be around that kind of content, but that's okay. Cynical Owl's back in here, 1999. The true American spirit. Good thing this old dude cannot be drafted anymore. Yeah, and again, I tried to sign up for the military. They didn't want me. They didn't like that I couldn't duck walk. I went on to do ultra marathons and fucking crazy endurance events, but I wasn't good enough to go to the Army, so their loss. All right, let's see, war pigs. Yeah, I don't think any of us are war pigs. Reed, is it Reed Balsam? Reed Balsam. Obama didn't have to send his daughters. Well, yeah, I know. Obama didn't start, yeah, right. Obama didn't start, he was handed one, it had already been started. Yeah, and again, fantastic. Again, you can say what you guys will about Obama, but Obama was, I didn't like Obama again, I thought he was the most mediocre person to ever be elected president, but, you know, the more we look back on Obama, like Obama he wasn't that bad, you know, especially when I like look at Trump, holy shit, man, Obama, like, I would vote for Obama at this point. But yeah, I mean, Obama deported more people than Trump's deported at this point in his presidency, and Obama didn't run on a deport everyone campaign, right? Again, Trump, that's literally what got Trump elected. He won the popular vote and the swing states because he wanted mass deportations. He ran on that shit, and now he gets a little bit of pushback from Democrats. He's like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, no, he should have fucking, after Alex Preddy, should have kept on fucking mowing people over. I fucking mow over all of them. You know, fucking arrest all these people. Again, if people are going to die, people are going to get shot. When you want big change, you want big things to happen to your country, it's going to be ugly. But again, Trump didn't want to do it. He'll no problem taking the country to war, right? He can have fucking 8 million people protesting with these No Kings things. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Again, no problems with all that pushback. No problems with, you know, the majority of the country fucking hating this guy. No problems there. But oh my God, a couple of people die at a protest? Woo, we can't have that. Kind of convenient, right? You know, so maybe Trump didn't really want to do the mass deportations. Maybe Trump sold us a big bag of bullshit. All right, let's see. Dublin's new 3989. My sister's husband lost her uncle in war. Yeah, it sucks, man. Again, I feel bad for anyone that. Again, this is why when you send your nation to war, you send your entire nation to war. And again, you need to go when you're going to go fight another country. You got to have a good fucking reason to do it. And again, you think that a country might get nuclear weapons, doesn't qualify. You think that a country might have ballistic missiles, doesn't qualify. You think that, you know, this country might go attack a little tiny country with 9.5 million people, not a reason to go to war. You know, so again, Russia wants to take over Ukraine, not a reason to go to war. But again, we've diluted what going to war means, right? I mean, people have forgotten what World War II is all about. People think World War II is just a Holocaust, right? It was just about the Jews, okay? There's a lot more going on during that period of time. A lot more things happened than that one little tiny fucking thing, right? There's a lot more things that happen, and we don't treat war the way we used to. We don't treat going to war. We don't treat taking the nation to war. We don't treat the ugliness of war the same thing. It's just like, it's just something I saw in the news. Like, whatever. We fired some missiles. it's wild what we've diluted war to be. All right, Busman says, Syria, Yemen, Libya, Pakistan, etc. So what you're saying there, Reed, is again, every nation that we went over and destabilized in the Middle East was for the Greater Israel Project. That's all it's for. Didn't benefit America in any way, shape, or form. Didn't make gas cheaper. Didn't make homes cheaper. Didn't help people be able to afford homes, insurance, have kids. Didn't make the American dream better. Didn't do any of that stuff. It just helped one little tiny country in that region. It's too bad, you know. So, and again, we printed all the money to do this, guys. This is the other thing. All right, draft beer, not kids. Hell yes, Sliding Girl. I need to put that on a T-shirt, man. I'm not a merch guy. I don't want to do merch, but goddamn, if I was going to do it, that's a great one. I love it so much. There another guy. He said something to me. He said $100,000 to go learn culinary, no problem. $100,000 to start a culinary business, impossible. Like there are so many great T-shirts we could make, but that's a fantastic one. Draft beer, not kids. I love it. Cynical Al, 1989. Let's see, being the perfect example of American education. Yeah, maybe. All right. Rocker, who's this? Rocker Stash, that's gaming. I care about him. All right. Jody York, 3202. Okay. Where were you when Obama did the same thing? Okay. Again, I opposed Obama, everything Obama did. Again, Obama literally fucked over my healthcare. Again, I had a Cadillac healthcare plan. When I was living there in Oklahoma, I worked for Nordam. Again, I was paying like $50 a month, I think, is what I was paying for my entire family. Again, the minute Obama started the ACA thing, doubled overnight. It's like, fuck this guy. And again, healthcare has just gone up ever since the ACA came into effect. So again, Obama fucked you guys harder than you realize. All right, Sun Tzu 6122. Disagree all you want, but put in effort and say what he got wrong. Yep, I appreciate that. All right, Aaron Murphy in here. Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Aaron Murphy, 6 not even close to the second economy in the world, you idiot. Japan? Am I incorrect there? I'm gonna look this one up. Let's see what the top economies are. Again, you could be right. Maybe it's China. I forget. All right, let's see. Top economies. Top economies in the world. Let's see here. I could be way off. Like I said, I'm dumb furniture maker. What do I know? You guys are listening to dumb furniture maker talk about shit. Okay. So top economies, let's see here. All right, so number one is America, 31 trillion. Then China is number two at 20. Germany at 5.3. India at 4.1. Japan is at 4.4. So Japan's number five. So I was off. So they're not number two, but they're close, The real story is the fact that no other country is close to America and China. Like, I didn't realize just how much away we were. I thought China was a lot closer to America. So America's 31 trillion is our GDP, right? And again, America's GDP is wildly crooked, guys. It's wildly crooked. So don't be careful when you believe that. And again, I'm sure China's numbers aren't as accurate as they claim. They claim to be, they're 20.6, right? So they're 2/3 of what America is, okay? So, but then Germany, the gap between China and Germany, China sits at 20.6 trillion. Germany is at 5.3. So Germany's economy is a fourth the size of China, right? So anyway, so China and America just crushing it in GDP. So if you guys believe GDP stats, I don't. I think GDP is is bullshit. All right, Cynthia Allen, 1989. So what you're saying, so much for chemical weapons, war crimes, and such. Why haven't you used your Second Amendment yet? Taking it easy. I don't know. I know what you're saying there. Again, I just believe that going to war, you go to win. You don't go to nation build. You don't go to, help countries that don't benefit you. You go to help your real allies, not your fucking fake Israel ally that provides nothing to America. There's no reason to be allied with this country, right? Ukraine. Okay, we do nothing with Ukraine. Ukraine isn't even a NATO country, okay? Again, like going into Syria, going into Yemen, going into Lebanon, going into Libya, going into Sudan, going into any of these places does not help America. They're not our allies. They're not a part of NATO. Like, what are we doing? Okay, when I go to war, we go to war. War means something in my world. It doesn't mean, most of you people, and war doesn't mean anything to you. It doesn't mean anything anymore. So that's just kind of how I see it. But I appreciate your comment. All right, so Son's asking out there. So Bud Skrilla, man, great name. Bud Skrilla 2U133. Their loss. Osama was horrible. Yeah, I'm sure Osama was horrible. Again, I don't know what we've got to do with Osama. But again, if you really want to be honest about Osama bin Laden, right? Why do you think? If you guys, the letter that Osama bin Laden wrote about why he orchestrated the 9/11 attacks were literally because of what America had done in the Middle East. You guys need to go back to the history of what happened during the Iran-Iraq conflict. Go back there. And again, son, you'll know about this, but I believe this letter was literally deleted from the internet. You can't find it anywhere. And he literally said the thing that we've been doing my entire life, which is destabilizing every region in the Middle East. We're literally making more terrorists than we kill. And yet we just keep believing the hype. Oh no, we got to go protect the allies. No, they're going to greet us as liberators. Like, you fucking people believe this shit over and over and over again. I'm the idiot. I can put the dots together, okay? We're not making the situation better. We're making the situation necessary by our actions. Again, Osama bin Laden wrote it all down. So again, say what you will about the guy. He's awful. No one wants to see anyone die. No one wants to see 9/11 happen, but we created that situation. It was a reaction to what America had done. And again, you guys don't have to like this stuff. You don't have to believe me, but it's the honest to God truth, So, all right, let's see, Daniel Petticord, man, great name. 6079. The most mediocre president ever existed. His name was Carter. Yeah, again, if you guys want to look, apparently that's he's the worst. But again, if you guys want to look at what happened during Carter's administration, okay, what Carter was dealing with at the end of his presidency was 11 to 14% interest rates. Or excuse me, inflation. Inflation was just through the roof, right? Because of what happened in 1979 with the Iran issue, right? The OPEC cartels, right? That basically closed off all the oil. This is what caused everything to inflate in America. You guys are getting ready to see that right here in America. You're getting ready to see the cost of everything go. Inflation shoot through the roof because of the global energy market, right? You're getting ready to see something very similar. And then what was the antidote to the Carter administration? And this is what you guys need. This is what is coming. This is what needs to happen. This is what I talk about all the time. What happened after Carter left office was Reagan came in. And what's the first thing Paul Volcker did? Do you guys remember? Does anyone have? You guys remember what happened after Carter? Seems like you guys talking about some of the stuff. So what happened after Carter, guys, is what you have to understand is Volcker came and he jacked interest rates up to 20%. You guys are fucking crying about 6%. You guys are crying about 7%. Okay. You guys are getting ready. You're gonna go into double-digit interest rates. Okay. And you know what's gonna happen? The federal government has so much debt, it's not going to be able to roll that debt over at lower interest rates. It's going to have to roll that debt over at exacerbated rates, 200, 300, 400% in interest payments. Okay, you guys think the 1 trillion is bad now? Wait till rates are 20% and the federal government has to roll that debt over. Your economy's over. It's over. And this is what Trump is terrified of. This is what is coming. This is why I can't understand what's happening with this war. Like, Trump is almost recreating what happened at the end of the Carter administration, you know? So do with that information what you will, guys. Again, dumb furniture maker here, but look at what's getting ready to happen. So, all right, let's see what Titan's got to say. Hold on one second. Make sure I'm at here. So you got ahead. Peace, Jen. Son, see you later, dude. Thanks for being here. Make sure I get, God forbid Obama follow the fucking law. Okay, not sure what you're saying there. War pigs was referring to politicians who profit but don't send their own kids. Yeah, that's pretty much all politicians. All right, got ahead. Peace. All right, Bud Skrilla says, how much money did Osama send to Iran? I have no idea, man. See, but read Balsam type. Some could be said for Trump. Weird, you defend Obama's horrible policies but hate Trump's horrible policies. Okay, and again, I think here that we defend a lot of Trump's policies. Right. Again, the problem with Trump, and this is the problem that Obama didn't. Obama did what he said he was going to do. Like, Obama followed through with his campaign promises. Trump hasn't done that. He's followed through with a couple of them. That's it. And the difference between Trump and Obama is that Trump talks a lot of shit. Trump said he was going to do a lot of things because, again, if he didn't get elected, he'd be in jail right now. So, again, the best thing that ever happened to Donald Trump was that he got elected president, put off the prosecution of this man, you know. And again, I'm a 3-time Trump supporter. I'm glad Trump's in office. But none of us expected we let the fox in the hen house, right? None of us expected this was going to happen. And for a guy that ran on on ending wars and not starting new wars and bringing Americans back to America and working on our economy here, Trump's done none of it, you know. So Trump is literally recreating Jimmy Carter 2.0, you know. So again, get ready, guys. Paul Volcker is coming. Hard times are coming, everyone. All right, Trump made fun of Obama, saying he has no ability to negotiate. Obama was able to strike a peace deal, not having to go to war. Trump couldn't imagine. Yeah, and again, Obama started the JCPOA, and again, Trump ripped it up. Again, without that treaty, right? Again, what did you expect? Iran wasn't going to enrich uranium? Again, there were no constraints. Why wouldn't they? You know, so Trump has been wildly ineffective. Again, great at talking shit, not so good at implementing things or making things happen. The same we said about Trump, except Obama brought his plans to Congress. Trump has ignored the requirement. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, Trump, you guys have noticed, Trump doesn't use Congress for anything. And again, Congress is wildly silent when it affects Israel. Congress is wildly silent when it affects the Greater Israel Project. I find it very convenient that also Congress' #1 donator is AIPAC, which is the lobbying group that supports Israel influence on Americans, right? So, yeah, kind of wild. So, all right, so got more comments in here. Candy get a job? Candy get a job? I'm sure you said, so do you consider yourself an immigrant? No, I don't. Let's see, who is like my God? Hey, your lamp brings back memories of my aunt. Yeah, man, everyone loves the leg lamp, man. Christmas, I love Christmas. I love all the Christmas. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, fucking Mariah Carey. I love all that stuff. All right, Rockstash Edits Gaming. Hey, Woodrunner, look up a guy called Dean Withers, or look up Parker Get a Job. Listen to both of them debate. You'll learn a lot. All right, I've never heard of any of these people. Dean Withers. All right, here. Well, just for you, buddy, I'm gonna put this on my list of things to look for. I love new information. I'm one of these people. You can give me anything. I'm happy to look it up. All right, this is Dean Withers. All right. Let's see what we got here. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see what populates here. Dean Withers is a 21-year-old American liberal, progressive, political commentator, live streamer, and content creator. He's best known for his viral debates with conservatives on TikTok and YouTube. Okay, I'll check him out, man. I love listening to liberal people. I watch Breaking Points and Young Turks and all. I watch it all. I love both sides of the discussion. So I will check it out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, Aaron Murphy 670. Well, why would anyone listen to some snarky army reject who can't even get his facts right? I know, I don't know, I don't get either, Aaron. But you're here. Thanks for the comment. Hit the like button. Subscribe, please. All right, Rakshash, that is gaming. He's not 100% wrong. He's learning. Yeah, that's a great comment. I'm the first to admit it, right? I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I love when people tell me what I don't know, and I'm happy to look it up. Like I said, I got a bunch of monitors in front of me. I'm happy to learn something new. So appreciate it. Dude saves, save your mental health. Get off this app and go for a walk or something. No, I'm good. I go for walks. All right. Yep. Iran in the 50s wanted to nationalize their oil. Americans didn't want that, so we overthrew the government and put our own guy in there. He started the destabilization. Yeah, this is Mossadegh. I forget the history, but yeah, you're 100% right. They wanted to nationalize their oil, and again, that's not good for America, right? That's not good for the globalization, right? That's not good for the American hegemon. And it sounds like Trump, I mean, the way Trump talks shit, he almost sounds like he wants to nationalize our oil industry, if I'm being completely honest. And maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe he wants to nationalize the hemispheric energy production, right? You know, because we get most of our energy that we import from Canada. So I don't know, man. That's a good comment, though. Thank you very much. Host, have you ever read the USMC General Smedley Butler's book, War is a Racket? No, I haven't, but everyone talks about that, and that is something that apparently, I would never read the book, but I'd absolutely listen to it, right? I would listen to the AI version of it. Yeah, it's, again, everyone talks about that, you know, so it's clearly something I need to look at. The Volcker shock, yep, and again, that could be coming, guys. All right, cut funding or everything. Cut funding for everything for poor people, shatter the asylums, hundreds of thousands of unstable people sent to the streets. Yeah, and again, this is what happened. You know, this is what we have going on today. You know, we don't want to deal with the poor people. We don't want to deal with the mentally disabled people. And again, we got tons of money for it, but we don't want to solve the problems, because in America, we don't solve any problems. We don't do anything in this country that actually helps people. We just keep paying our taxes. Again, we fought a war over 3% tax on tea, and you guys are paying, I mean, as much as 50% of your taxes just to live, you know. And so, yeah, we gotta reevaluate how we're running this country. We gotta reevaluate what is important to this country. And again, when Trump says we don't have money for healthcare, we don't have money for childcare because we got to go buy bombs, we got all this war we got to do. That doesn't sound like the guy I voted for. I don't know about you guys. And again, I don't. Maybe Iran was a thought and I didn't know, and Donald Trump knows more than we do, but I don't think so. I think Trump's a bullshitter. All right, trade ladder 146, the United States of Israel. 100%, man. Love your comment. That's 100% true. All right, my first home. I had 30% mortgage rate back in the early 80s, and people believe times are rough now. Yeah, and again, my mom says the same thing, Titan. Again, she bought her first home was, I think she said it was 12%. You know, and again, homes were the cost structures were different back then. You guys didn't have to deal with the inflation that we have here today. And again, this is one of the things, Titan, again, I think you would probably agree with me at this point, that most of people's lives have been inflated away by printing all this money. The dollars aren't worth more. And again, everything is more expensive. When we brought the third world in here to do the work, they told you that everything was going to get cheaper. When they outsourced all the work to the third world, they told you that things are going to be cheaper, right? So one of the arguments they make today, we can't not outsource the work. Everything's going to get expensive. We can't kick out the third world labor because everything's going to get expensive. It's all a crock of shit, you know. And again, the difference between today and Titan, your time and my time, is that we didn't have the debt to GDP that we have now. You know, so you guys were running, you know, tens of hundreds of billions of dollars in debt. Today we're running almost $40 trillion in debt. The numbers are astronomical. So, but yeah, again, I think a lot of people forget that the interest rates used to be really high. You know, and it was a different time. So, typical Alan 1999, Trump supporter shocked when his president starts wars after his president threatened to start World War III. Okay, again, Trump talks so much. This is the same thing that people say, you know, Trump's in the Epstein files and Trump is a pedophile and Trump's all this. And again, the guy's the most popular guy, has been on television forever, has talked, written books, been on television shows. And people rap about this guy. People make movies about this guy. And it's like, you can find anything you want to say about Donald Trump. I'm just going off what the guy ran on. I don't know what else to tell you, man. All right, Scott Nunez, 2315, yeah, and would they replace him? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Let's see, Edits Gaming. He's an ex-Trump supporter. No, I'm not an ex-Trump supporter. I'm just waiting for Trump to do what he said he was going to do. And again, if Trump continues us down this path, again, yeah, I'm voting blue across the board. Blue no matter who. Whatever you got to do to stop this guy, impeach him. Get him out of here. Get him out of the Middle East. He's not using Congress for anything. He's executive ordering everything. And again, that's fine, except that when the next president comes in, right, if it's a Democrat, right, they just replace everything. Congress codifies nothing because Trump doesn't utilize Congress. He doesn't do things that can get through Congress. He only does things that he wants to do. And again, that's great for the time that he's in office. But again, it's going to get worse if all we do is just this back and forth executive order thing. Like Congress is passing the fewest amount of laws it has ever passed. You know, and again, the government's not working, man. Trump's a big part of it. Congress has abdicated. Yeah, again, Congress has abdicated its responsibility to maintain some control over the equal yet a rogue branch of government in the executive. Yeah, and I agree. Again, this is I just said what you're saying, Titan. Yeah, and again, Congress. The founding fathers never thought that Congress would abdicate its responsibility. They never thought that a certain branch of government would not want to have its power structure. They didn't realize that you'd basically just, Congress, the Supreme Court, and the executive was all be in lockstep. These branches of government are literally supposed to push back against each other. That's how this thing works. They got to be fighting. If they all agree and do the same exact thing, it doesn't work. So, okay, guys, we're at 120. Man, I gave you guys a lot of time this morning. If you guys are in the stream, hit the like button, add discussion. We didn't get as many likes as I would want this morning, so I'm probably going to end the cast. Subscribe, and again, we do this thing every day. If you guys like this kind of content, you like normie comment, where the people on live stream actually communicate with the people who put in the comments, and we talk about current events. We talk about woodworking, working with metal, painting furniture. You guys want to know all this kind of stuff. We talk about it all, and I think it's a great group of people that we have here. We got business owners, we got doctors, we got engineers, we got statisticians, we got economists. We just got a whole mishmash of people, and it's a fantastic place to hang out. We got two moderators, Titan Brew, 84 and 93. We got Sun Tzu is also a moderator. They come in and help. They push out the bullshit, the bullshit comments, so that we actually get real comments from real people that want to have discussions. So these guys work really hard getting rid of all the fluff. So throw some love to these guys. And again, this is what we do here. We have actual people that work on this cast. We got people that believe in this live stream. And again, I really appreciate everyone's that participates and helps and comes back and adds to the discussion. I hope you guys appreciate it as well. And I make sure that I say that. Let's do a few more comments, guys. And then I gotta go figure out this damn CNC router. Today's a big day. I'm gonna see if I can cut out a sign today, and then see if I can cut out some credenzas. So, all right, Scott Nunio's 2315. If people choose this side or that side, it's because they don't feel like they have another option. I know, and that's one of the problems. Voting doesn't work in this country, guys. I think voting is broken. It's all corrupt. It's all captured. And again, you guys just need to keep paying your 22.5% for nothing. You know, it's very frustrating. Again, I'm the guy. I advocate for tax revolt. We need one state that will protect its citizens and say, you know what, you guys, you don't have to pay into the federal government. We're not paying to the federal government. We don't want the federal government's help. We don't want them to fix our roads. We don't want their military protection. We don't want any of it. And then another state says, you know what, we kind of think the same thing. And then you end up in a situation where the taxpayer can push back against the federal government. Otherwise, there is no mechanism to do this thing because you need government, and government is captured. Congress is captured. And I don't know how we get out of it, guys, other than some kind of a massive revolt, some kind of a massive civil conflict, civil uprising. I just don't see a mechanism because no one will take less. No one. And there's no state that's willing to push back against the federal government. There's no mechanism within the states to push back against the federal government unless you have the National Guard, which then again, the federal government can take your National Guard and I forget the word they use, but it's not deputize them. But anyway, they can take control of the National Guard from a technical standpoint. So you end up in a civil war kind of a situation. And it's not even good to talk about, you know, but until the federal government starts cutting people's taxes and giving people their money back so they can make real decisions about what they want to do with their money, it's going to get wasted in fraud. It's going to get wasted in helping the homeless, broadband to nowhere, bridges to nowhere, fucking Artemis 2 projects. Again, they go do things that we've already done, infrastructure bills that bring back manufacturing that we already had here. More money on colleges, more money on educating people. You know, it's all a waste, guys. Every fucking bit of it. If you want to help people, go help some people. You want to go help people? You want to go help the homeless? Go help the homeless. You know, you want to, start a small business? Go start a small business. You want to help young people learn some shit? Start a small business. Help some people. Start a school. You know, and everyone says, oh, I don't have any money. I don't have any time. Yeah, again, because you let your federal government just eat up all your money. They wasted. They've beaten you down. They made you believe you can't do anything. They made you believe that nothing matters, that why should I even bother? And this is the problem that we have in this country, you know? So again, I'm the guy. I advocate tax revolt, some kind of a civil disobedience at the state level. Until that happens, we're all fucked. So good luck. All right, Slimy Girl 69 says, Iran Prime Minister Mossadegh, yep, was taken down by a couple via USA CIA fieldman Arnold Schwarzkopf. Senior father of his namesake. Yeah, interesting. I didn't know all that. I remember hearing about the Mossadegh. I don't know the history. Apparently, you do, Slimy Girl. So thanks for having the discussion. He's a reasonable man, our host. I think that I'm reasonable. I don't know. This is Scout and Nunios 2315. I think that I'm reasonable. I'm trying to be reasonable. Okay. He just bailed out the Middle East overnight. If we just bailed out of the Middle East overnight, would that hurt us more than help us? It would. It'd be a wash. It would be a wash. Because I mean, if you guys really want to, you really want to get dark. I mean, if you really want me to get dark, let's save that for another day. We're over there. We're over there pushing stuff for Israel. That's why we're there, right? And the only reason that Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE are even participating in this bullshit, right? The Abraham Accords, right? Getting along with Israel is because they know that they're running out of oil, right? They know that this oil thing is eventually going to end, and what they're doing is they've spent a bunch of money in America. They're investing in America, right? Which, that's a partnership, right? So the reason that we're doing any of this right now is to protect those trillions of dollars that those people have invested in this country, and this one little tiny country that is wildly overrepresented in academia, in media, and in our government. That's it. So if we pulled out right away, would it affect America? I don't think so. You just piss off a lot of people, and it would probably destabilize finance for a little bit. AI tech bros would be super pissed. But at the end of the day, I don't think it would matter. Israel would probably get destroyed. If I'm being completely honest, these people wouldn't put up with their bullshit. If America wasn't back in Israel, it'd probably be gone. Like I said, you just get on Grok and have it play out the game theory of what would happen if America didn't back Israel. And again, they wouldn't be there. Would that be good or bad? I don't know. But again, if the state of Israel was making a bunch of shit for America, like if we were getting oil from them, or we were getting technology from them, or we were getting some kind of great natural resource from them, it would affect us, but we don't, so therefore it wouldn't. Would Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Abu Dhabi and Iran, would all these guys go to war? I don't think so. I think they'll all get along just fine. I'm being completely honest. I don't think that you wouldn't have $150 oil right now. I know that. Oil would be $65, right? If you guys know what happened before the Iran conflict, remember, oil was $65. Inflation was coming down. Jobs, weren't doing great, but the economy was moving along just fine. Russia, Europe wasn't talking shit on America. Our president wasn't talking shit on, the president was always talking shit on Europe, but at the same time, the alliance was there. China was still sending us shit. Like everything was fine. And then Donald Trump just dropped this fucking bomb onto the world and then told everyone else they're all bitches for not fixing the problem that we started. As an American, that drives me fucking crazy. It pisses me off. Like, I'm the guy that says, get the fuck out of the Middle East. We don't need to be there. Don't need to be there. Like, if we want to be there, let's help build up Syria. Let's help build up Libya. Let's help build up Yemen. Let's make fucking some friends instead of making enemies. And then why would we even be there? We got this little country, Cuba, right? We're literally starving these people right now. Like, our country is literally blockading oil, right? And I think they just let a tanker in there from Russia, but we're literally letting people die in that little country by starving them of energy, and we're looking the other way. Again, little tiny country. We could fix this country with the money that we spend on bombs just over in the last 30 days. We could probably fix this entire country. We could send manufacturing over there. Tons of Americans would love to move there. Fucking Cuba's beautiful. It's like the land that time forgot. We could do a lot better, but we don't want to. Because this one little country over there in the Middle East that, again, no American's ever going to go to. No one gives a fuck about except a very tiny group of people. We got another little country over here, little tiny group of people. We could actually help. Again, we got a lot of their brothers and sisters over in Florida right now, but again, we don't want to help them. I can't figure it out, man. We're literally killing people over there right now with cutting off the energy they used to get from Venezuela, and we're acting like that people aren't dying over there. They're not fucking dying of starvation. They're not dying of not being able to get medical care. They're not dying, for some needless bullshit, So some fucking politician here in America can say, oh my God, look at what I've done. Look how amazing I am. God, I don't know, man. It's Lucas Gold Soldiers. You're new and I haven't seen you before. I generally think that Trump wasn't prepared for a second term, but I think he's smart enough to think he isn't concerned with helping as many people as he claimed. No, Donald Trump had to get elected. I completely disagree with you, dude. I think that Donald Trump moved heaven and earth to get elected. That's why he went on all the podcasts. That's why he was all over X. That's why Elon Musk was trying to get this guy elected. That's why Peter Thiel was trying to get this guy elected. That's why, you know, that dumb fuck Bill Ackman. Again, even that guy was voting for Trump. Like, and everyone was voting for Trump because they wanted this guy to get elected. Now they're all silent. You know, so I think Donald Trump knew exactly what he was doing, and it's too bad. All right, maybe next time your attention span is more than 5 minutes. I know, man. I'm a squirrel. I'm just like squirrel. It's okay. People seem to like it. So, all right, guys, I probably got to get out of here. Let's see if we got any newbies here. I want to say hi to new people if I haven't seen you before. Again, we do this cast every day. Come in and say hi and add the comments. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff. Lucas Cole Saunders, I'd love to interact with you more. I think you got some great comments, but I got to get here. Angus, Odin Prism Omega. Remember people used to use these things called dictionaries, and they had these magical things called pages, and they also had thesaurus. And unfortunately, Gen Z can't even think without AI. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. I think reading is antiquated. I think reading is outdated. But to your comment there, when you have AI and you have everything digital, guess what? It can be altered. You know, so books, being able to read, being able to write cursive, right? Being able to write in general, probably is something we shouldn't forget about. You know, so Aegis, I think you're probably right. Agus, I think you're probably right. New comments. All right, Kristen 2629. Impeach for what? Impeach for what? How about dragging a nation to war without the consent of the governed? That would be one thing. You know, I would even go so far as how about not since you're the executive branch, like how about not enforcing this little thing called the Epstein Transparency Act passed November 29, 2005, or 2025, excuse me. Like, how about not being the executive? Like, that's an impeachable offense if you ask me. You know, again, Congress passed it. The American people said, hey, we want this. It was veto proof, and Trump's he's not pushing to get those files released. We got half the files released. I don't think anything about that Transparency Act said you must release half the Epstein files, you know. So I can go on a number of things that Trump should be impeached about, but anyway, I just want the guy to be stopped. That's all I care about. Okay, guys, I gotta get here. Scott Godby, 639. Stop voting these two parties in. We must find a better party to lead us. In the same time, we don't have a choice. Let's figure it out. Yeah, Scott, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think the parties matter. I don't think voting matters. I don't think it really, again, it is. So, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for commenting and being part of the discussion. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great day.